Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Golf season is in full swing, and if you're anything like me, you're always looking for that next tee time. My wife's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, oh, nothing, but I'm really checking out Aurora Golf's 5 public courses tee times. I'm obsessed. It's true. I love playing their 5 courses. Each course is unique and tests your golfing skills. Aurora Hills, great walking course. Meadow Hills, an old school classic layout with the tree-lined fairways. Reminds me of a course in North or South Carolina. Then you got Murphy Creek, can challenge the best golfers, and if you're lucky, you might catch a fighter jet flyover from Buckley Space Force Base. Then you got Saddle Rock. I'm there all the time. Find me a better course with the views that never disappoint. And then you got Spring Hill, perfect for beginners or anyone looking to become a short game chef. All right, they have great course conditions, practice facilities, friendly staffers, restaurants that I always hit after the round, and I'm taking lessons there and getting better. All right, Aurora Golf has a course you'll love. Book your tee time, schedule a lesson, or learn more about their leagues and programs at golfaurora.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Cecil Lammy here for my friends SodaDietAndNutrition.com. They've got a big summer offer. You can get 4 weeks free. Call 866-800-SODA and mention this station, 104.3 The Fan. 866-800-SODA. Mention this station to get 4 weeks free. Their big summer offer going on right now. It's Soda, Diet, and Nutrition. I want you to call up 866-800-SODA. Listen, 5 years ago I lost 60 pounds with soda, and I'm never going back. Why? Because they taught me how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. And having those tools is amazing for your weight loss journey because it's about knowing what you need every single day and then having your own nutritionist, a personalized nutritionist with a personalized plan for you, the dynamic diet for you, custom built for you so that you can lose weight and you can keep it off. And that's the main thing. 5 years have gone by and those 60 pounds are not coming back. They'll never come back because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat, all thanks to Soda. SodaDietNutrition.com. Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
I'm Rob Wilhite. If you've been in a car accident, you need experience that wins. For almost 50 years in Colorado, my firm has recovered over $1 billion for crash victims. Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com.
Home repairs shouldn't feel overwhelming. That's why Homestrong is your one-stop shop. Family-owned, over 20 years of experience, and the highest-rated structural company in the state with over 300 5-star Google reviews. If you see cracks, water issues, or a cold, dirty crawl space, start with a free inspection and quote. Homestrong handles everything. Foundation repair, basement waterproofing, crawl space encapsulation, concrete lifting, decorative concrete, even turning crawl spaces into fully finished basements without calling another contractor. Financing's available. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Home Improvements. For an 8% scheduling incentive and a special financing rate of 0% APR with 72 equal monthly payments, go to drhi.com. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors, finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right.
This segment on The Fan is brought to you by Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts.
One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
2:16 in the Mile High City. Anilo Piro in for Zach By once again alongside my main man, Phillip Lindsay. We've got Dante Gomez and Drew Spivak behind the glass as well. You and us for the next few hours on this Wednesday, July the 8th. What up, Phil?
Woo! What's going on, AP? It looks like ZB, he doesn't like me anymore. He decided to ditch me again.
He dipped.
And you decided to stay. So I'm proud of you,
One more
man.
day. One more day.
I'm out.
I'm exercising my player option after today.
Yeah, you said I'm tired of my ass, huh?
Nah, I have a good time. But I was joking. We've had some pretty intense conversation the last couple of days. And look, I could be objective. I'm not going to win every single battle with you. I think it's 1-1 right now. This is the championship round.
So you're the one keeping score. I love it. I love it,
for
man.
fun. You were the one who just told me, let's have fun today. All right, let's keep some score then, right? You want
Hey,
to sit here and talk
compete.
monotone about
Be competitive.
Yeah, exactly. Compete street. We got our own compete street here at the Fan. But no, a lot to break down on the program today. Want to hear from you guys on the RamosLaw.com text line 303-713-1043. And as we mentioned at the end of the last segment, the dream for LeBron James just might be dead for the Denver Nuggets. But let me ask you this. Was it a dream for you? Because I don't think it was.
Damn, AP.
You're sitting
know
here
that?
like, he's not going to make them much better. They're bad defensively. Does LeBron help them
But I
defensively?
also say,
No.
hey, like, for fun, for entertainment, to sit here and say we have Jokic and LeBron James, it would have been a fun season. A lot of people would have been butts in seats,
They're
waiting
sold
to
out any
watch
game,
this.
though.
I understand, but
Every game.
but people would make a lot more money. You know how it goes. You have superstars in the building. The tickets go up a little bit more. The tax of the tickets go up just a little bit more. And so I would have loved to just see that. Now, with that being said, you were right. I don't believe bringing LBJ in here would have helped the Denver Nuggets win a championship. Maybe they win a playoff series, but we're talking about championships here. We're talking about Jokic and trying to win that thing. So, I would have liked LBJ to be here, but if he doesn't, okay, what do you do next? All right, you should always have a plan B. All right, Ben Tenzer, John Wallace, you can't count on LBJ. LBJ did not say, hey, I'm coming to the Denver Nuggets. So until he says that, what's the next step? So, I would have loved for LeBron to be here, but also I know that LeBron probably wants to be with his boys. Maybe it's Golden State. Maybe it's going back to Cleveland. Maybe it is Miami Heat.
Yeah, he might want to go home. The report came out this morning from Shams Charania. It appears there's 3 teams that are considered to be the frontrunners for LeBron James' services. That does not include the Denver Nuggets. Those 3 teams are the 76ers, Heat, and Cavaliers. Here's exactly what Shams had to say on the situation.
The teams that continue to come up are Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia after they got the Jaylen Brown. Like, Philadelphia was not in the picture, and I think that's why this is somewhat a true free agency for LeBron James, because he didn't go into it with a calculation in mind, a plan in place, because, you leave the Lakers, you don't necessarily know what your value is. There's not like a guaranteed max that he's walking into. There's not a guaranteed $20, $30 million salary slot that you're walking into. So you have to be open-minded. And so I look at it when I talk to teams now as kind of a hierarchy of Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, and then I think there's some teams on the periphery.
Okay, let's just run with that thought for a second.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of take Miami and Cleveland out of the conversation for just a minute because they have an advantage that the other teams don't. Cleveland's home. Miami was also home for him for a period of time in his career. He's won there. There's legacy. There's familiarity with that organization.
For sure.
Same
Yes.
head coach, everything with that. But what Shams is saying about it being, wide open, essentially, for LeBron in free agency. And I get there's probably an allure of playing in the Eastern Conference versus the West, where you already have San Antonio and Oklahoma City, of course. But the fact that it is kind of viewed as wide open, and the Nuggets, at least from this perspective of Shams, appear to be on the outside looking in, does that make you feel some type of way? Because, you and I have gone back and forth as the week has gone on. Like, I think Josh Kroenke, if he's able to land LeBron James, that's the signature move of his ownership and stewardship of the Denver Nuggets, and it seems like it's wide open. Like, all of a sudden, Philadelphia makes a play for Jaylen Brown. Now they're really in the mix. Like, why don't the Nuggets find themselves more in the mix when you have a generational player in Nikola?
Because it's not just about Jokic. It's about the people around Jokic. It's about the vision. It's about looking at this roster saying, okay, can they truly win? If you're LeBron James and you're 41 years old, you have to sit there and look at this roster and say, can we truly win? Not just a bunch of games. The Nuggets will win a bunch of games if they decide to run it back with this crew because they're good enough to do that. But can they win series? Can they win the second round? Can they beat OKC? Can they beat the Spurs? And if you're LeBron and you don't believe that, Why come here? All right, you're 41 years old. You're almost done. You won another ring. You're probably going to go somewhere where it's more established, where there's more athletic ability, where there's more playmakers like Miami. If you go back to Cleveland, it's because you want to go home. And now the 76ers, because of the move that they just made with Jaylen Brown.
But you would think if that's the priority, right? Why would Miami be in consideration? Because Miami is devoid of shooters. Like Tim Hardaway Jr. is currently their best shooter.
Well, that's why. Because LBJ doesn't want to play defense. LBJ wants to shoot the ball.
Yeah, but
and with the Miami Heat, you got the big boys that are going to play great defense for you, but also, do some of the dirty work with the rebounding. So now what does LBJ get to do? Shoot. Shoot or shoot, right? He gets to shoot. He doesn't have to worry about playing D now.
All I'm saying is, look, sure, there's a clearer path to an NBA Finals appearance in the Eastern Conference, but if he's serious about winning a championship, he's going to San Antonio. He's considering Minnesota more heavily. Honestly, he's considering Denver more heavily because I understand we all have this bad taste in our mouths as it pertains to the Nuggets and losing to the backups, and I can see you waiting to fire back at me on that.
Look at you. I'm not saying anything.
The reality of the situation is they won 53 games in the regular season.
Yeah, but can I just
They're
stop you?
They're a good team.
Yes, they won 53 games. They went on a 12-game win streak, correct?
Fool's gold.
Oh, exactly.
I was saying that, by the way, for the record.
There you go.
They can confirm that.
So, but also, ZB and I have sat here and talked about this season how a lot of these teams were literally tanking for these players that are coming out of the draft this year, that were coming out of the draft.
But that's a tale as old as time in the NBA.
Yeah, but now they're going to stop that, what's going on. But, you had teams that literally were winning games and beating the Nuggets and sitting some of their guys that were helping them win during the game because they wanted to lose that game. So, were the Denver Nuggets that close? Hell no. That's why they got bounced out of the first round. And if you're LeBron James, you're looking at that. How close are you? Where is my vision, right? What vision do you guys have for me? What role, do you guys have me playing, and how much money are you willing to give me?
Where I disagree with you is, and look, you and I don't see eye to eye on the coach and the playing and all that kind of stuff as well, but where I kind of fall back on this is just because they got bounced in embarrassing fashion, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, nor am I trying to carry the water for the organization, but this is just how I feel. Just because they got embarrassed in the first round doesn't mean they're maybe as far off as we think they are. Someone's going to have to remind me.
That's cute.
Maybe it was the conference final, too, now that I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
I remember Boston. Remember, we're supposed to be Boston versus Denver in the NBA Finals, and obviously Boston gets bounced by Miami. Maybe that was an Eastern Conference final. I forget exactly what round that was, right? But point being, Boston's a team that fell short of expectations, bounced back the next year, win the chip. And so I'm looking at this Nuggets team, and I'm saying, yeah, there's holes. Yeah, there's flaws. They're not as sound as they have been in years past. But I'm looking at it as Jamal Murray had the best regular season of his career. Yes, he laid an egg in the playoffs, but you should be able to bank on Jamal playing at that all-star level next year.
You should, because he's a max player, right? He's getting paid like a max player. Right. You should be able to do that.
And you've got Jokic in his prime. And I don't think Cam Johnson is going to be nearly as bad as he was last year. I don't think Christian Brown's going to be nearly as bad as he was last year. All I'm trying to say is, because last season ended in doom and gloom, but if they do a little tweak here, a little tweak there,
but they did already, AP. They did before this year started, and they moved.
How so?
They moved MPJ and brought in a bunch of guys: Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway Jr., Jonas JV. Right? They brought in guys, and we sat here, and I know I was one of them. Hey, they have a chance to win a championship, and it didn't work out, and they didn't get out of the first round. So, how close are they? Are they? They're not close. They need more defensive players.
Would it surprise you? Let me ask you this. Would it surprise you if they ended up in a Western Conference final this year?
Would it surprise me?
Yeah.
Yes, because they don't play defense. If they're going to play defense and let's just say they run it back, then okay, they have a chance. But because they don't play defense and the Spurs do, and also OKC will, it's going to be hard for the Denver Nuggets with the running back Denver Nuggets if they decide to do that to win a championship.
I mean, I think the offense was a problem in that series against Minnesota as well. Look, at the end of the day, it's going to be fascinating. We'll see what happens with the Denver Nuggets moving forward, but it does indeed seem like LeBron James will not be coming to town. Obviously, never say never until he puts pen to paper with wherever he decides to go. But that's the big news of the day involving the Nuggets and their offseason plans. We also should get an update on Jonas Valanciunas throughout the course of the program. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, ESPN has chosen their breakout candidates for each NFL team in this upcoming season. We'll tell you who the Broncos pick was next.
With the MLB trade deadline fast approaching, Houston is reportedly showing strong interest in Colorado outfielders Jake McCarthy and Mickey Moniak. Could two of the Rockies' hottest bats be on the move? And who else could be shipped out to rebuild the club? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Will your money last as long as you do? Retirement should be about enjoying life, not worrying about outliving your savings. At AJM Financial, we build retirement strategies to help protect and grow your savings, reduce risk, lower taxes where possible, and maximize your income in retirement. Schedule your complimentary retirement confidence review at 800-467-0737, 800-467-0737, and tune into Adam Moeller's Mile High Money Radio Saturdays at 8 a.m. on 104.3 The Fan.
It's easy to find your groove. As America celebrates, Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro, has more reasons to celebrate. Choose from hundreds of pre-owns, 40 under 15 grand. GrooveToyota.com. Plus, Groove Toyota has more than 100 used Toyotas, including Toyota Certifieds with full warranties available. Hurry into our Red, White, and Drive event. Groove Toyota. Start here, go anywhere.
Offer expires 7/31/26. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply. With approved credit, call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
Joint pain is awful when you're the person who is fighting through it, but I'm betting you aren't the only ones affected. Maybe you love someone who struggles with joint pain. You see it. You see what they don't say, what they've slowly stopped doing. It's July. The days are long. The light hangs around. Time to be outside, moving, playing, living, and you're sitting it out. Hey, it's Mike Evans. Let's talk about getting that life back, because at QC Kinetics, that's what's happening every day. People who are stuck in that cycle of pain in their hips, knees, shoulders, and back, they're finally stepping out of it with regenerative treatments done right in their office. No surgery, long recovery, or putting life on hold. Just real relief. The inflammation eases and the pain lets go. We hear it all the time, not just from patients, but from the people around them. He's back. She's herself again. So if this sounds like you or someone you love, go find out what's possible. QC Kinetics offers a free consultation to see if you're a candidate. Call 303-900-8986, 303-900-8986, with locations in Aurora, Superior, Highlands Ranch, and The Springs. It's QC Kinetics.
Robbie Dino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled over 7,000 cases, 300 trials. Let's face it, divorce is really impactful. You may have a controlling spouse. You may have a violent spouse. You may have been a victim of a domestic violence. You may be wrongfully accused of domestic violence. This all affects parenting rights. And let's face it, the kids are the most important. These are the things that need to be handled. They need to be handled appropriately by someone that's going to protect your kids and protect your rights. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com, 720-706-5151.
You know that feeling, sitting at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of bills, wondering how you got here? Credit cards, car payments, subscriptions you forgot about. It all piles up. But here's the thing. If you own a home, you're sitting on the answer. American Financing can help you declutter your monthly bills into a single manageable payment. Their salary-based mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture, not just one piece. All right? The average customer savings is $800 a month. You may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there is never any upfront fees or obligation with American Financing. This is a family-owned lender, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. So pick up the phone and start that conversation at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or simply visit them online at AmericanFinancing.com. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
When disaster hits your home, it's game time. Water in the basement, fire damage, mold creeping in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call Able. Able Restoration is your first round draft pick for emergency response, mitigation, and full rebuild. We move fast, protect your property, and fight for you with insurance start to finish. This isn't practice, this is your home. And when it's time to step up and protect what matters most, bring Able to the table. Call 303-590-5600. That's 303-590-5600. Go Able.
Bring Able to the table.
Brought to you by Common Spirit Health. Hospitals, clinics, and caregivers all connected to advance healthcare with human kindness in Colorado, Kansas, and Utah. Common Spirit Health. Human kindness lives here.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by ROX Rocks Heating and Air.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is pitch, P-I-T-C-H. Text pitch to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's pitch to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on
Again, because then they're just stale.
That or they're just hard, because it's kind of cold in that vending machine.
Yeah, it's a little chill.
I know I'm a pro with the vending machine. I get a chocolate bar every single day from the vending machine.
The Twix, right? That's your big thing.
I just Reese's.
Yeah,
he does.
No, I mean, it's not hard to spy. It's like you come in here during the break. It's like
I love my Twix. I love my Reese's. Come on now.
No, I respect it. I kind of get a little Reese'd out, to be honest with you. Like that used to be my favorite, but I think I had them like too much. I'm a big Kit Kat guy. Big Kit Kat.
Breaks me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah. All right. Back on track here. ESPN has chosen their breakout candidates from each NFL team in this upcoming season. I'm curious. I'm not going to you can guess the player if you want, but for the Broncos, what position group do you think ESPN has their eye on for a breakout candidate?
Breakout candidate. I mean, this is a veteran-heavy team, man.
Right, so you got to think like younger guy, coming into his own, right? Like it's not Jalen Waddle.
No, it's not going to be Waddle. Let's go the running back position. Jonah Coleman, right? Breakout candidate. We need him. I know we need him. We all know we need him to help keep J.K. Dobbins healthy this year so J.K. can help the Denver Broncos make some noise in the playoffs, and hopefully get to a Super Bowl. In order to do that, we have to have a run game. So I'm going to have to say Jonah Coleman.
I love the guess. It is not Jonah Coleman. It is not the running back position, but that's a conversation that we could definitely have, because I think Jonah Coleman, of the rookies the Broncos drafted, has the most potential to truly make an impact this year, especially if J.K. Dobbins unfortunately gets hurt and what happens with R.J. Harvey, because I think Coleman plays more like Dobbins than he does Harvey. So that's a separate conversation, but I like where your head's at. They did go with defensive line, and it's Ioma Uwazurike. Here's what ESPN writes. Veteran defensive lineman John Franklin Myers was the Broncos' lone significant departure from the loaded roster that was perhaps one QB injury away from a Super Bowl berth. They go on to talk about John at JFM and what he meant to this Broncos team. Of the rotational players who impressed last season, the first one I'd be trying to get more snaps to is Uwazurike. He had a resurgent 2025 after a 2023 season-long suspension, as we're all very familiar with. More of a true defensive tackle he is than Jonathan Franklin Myers, and Uwazurike has a mean bull rush and a hot motor that helps makes him clean up plays in muddy pockets. So that's where we're at with Uwazurike. I like the pick, because I think, to your point, it's a very veteran-loaded team, right? And that's why I'm not just saying that to gas you up here. Like, I like the Jonah Coleman idea, but defensive line, knowing you have Nick Bonito, knowing you have Zach Allen, if Uwazurike can step into that JFM role, buckle up.
And those are some big shoes to fill for Uwazurike when it comes to replacing someone like JFM, right? Because of what he brought to the table. Right, 7.5 sacks, big body. John Franklin Myers was always rushing that quarterback, putting pressure on that quarterback, and giving someone like Zach Allen a break. So if Uwazurike can go in there, stuff the run, that's one thing that the Denver Broncos defense needs to do a better job of, and they lacked it in the playoffs against the Buffalo Bills, is stopping the run. And how do you do that? You got to clog up the gaps. You have to be stout. They call it two-gapping, where you have a big body that just sits there, and he reads the running back to the left and right, throws and sheds that center off, and then goes and make the tackle. So if Uwazurike can do that, give someone like Zach Allen a break, then yes, then I'm all for it. And I like that they're thinking outside the box. You got to keep a strength to strength. Defense is the strength of this team, has been the backbone of the team for the Denver Broncos for 2 straight years, but it starts in the trenches. Offensive, defensive line.
Well, and look at it this way, too. Like, this is Uwazurike's, like, first real opportunity to go out there and make a name for himself. Like, you talk about the gambling suspension. You talk about, being behind a guy like JFM, and they also have Malcolm Roach, Benito, Jonathan Cooper, Zach Allen on this defensive line. Right? So, like, this is going to be an opportunity for him to go out there and show, like, hey, the past is the past. I'm ready to rock and roll, and I'll show you why I'm a tried and true NFL player and can make an impact for this team and whatever team wants to potentially sign me, hopefully Denver, for, moving forward in my career. And let's also keep it a buck here, Phil. The status of Jonathan Cooper is still kind of unknown at this point. Like, is Cooper going to be on the field? Is it with the Broncos? Like, what does that situation look like? So,
I still expect Jonathan Cooper to miss at least 5 games.
Right.
I think that's the rule for the NFL when it comes to domestic violence.
If he's still on the team.
If he's still on the team, he'll be suspended for 5 games. So you're going to have to bank on, a couple of Jonah Ellis. You're going to have to bank on Uwazurike and some of these young guys to step up until you can get someone like Jonathan Cooper back if he's on the team.
Yeah, and so I think there's just opportunities just naturally that have opened up because of the departure of JFM, which is one that I understand, but selfishly, JFM was one of my favorite players to talk to in the locker room and everything that kind of came with that. But I also thought he was a darn good football player. So there's already, you subtract JFM from the mix, and then this question mark that's kind of hovering over Jonathan Cooper right now. I mean, that's going to be a real opportunity either way for Uwazurike to go out there and kind of make a name for himself and do some damage defensively. And also, Phil, there's some strength on strength there. Like, when you have a defensive line that already has Nick Benito, who's considered, I think I saw a list today on ESPN, like a top 10 pass rusher in the league. I believe he was number 10 exactly. You've got Zach Allen, who's been steady as could possibly be. Like, the teams are going to have to game plan for those 2 guys, which is why I think you saw JFM be so effective last year. So you've got Uwazurike, with the ability to kind of step into this role where, he was never going to be the main focus for an opposing team's offensive line. But when you've got Zach Allen and Nick Benito, you're going to get some good looks at the quarterback.
Definitely. And like you said, for Uwazurike, you're not looking for him to be Superman. That's Zach Allen. Let Zach Allen do his job. You do yours, right? Star in your role. And that means stuffing the run. All right, making sure that the running back has a hard time finding that hole. Make it 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. If it's 3rd and 1, stuff it at the line of scrimmage. Make it 4th down. Give the offense an opportunity to move down the field. Uwazurike needs to have a big-time year for himself, because if he doesn't, my man's probably not going to be here next year. But if he does, it makes it easy for him to get paid being on this defensive line.
And there's a lot of depth of the defensive line position, too. So it's like, I know Uwazurike is like the first name that kind of comes to mind, but like, what's going to happen with like Red Murdoch, like, who I know is obviously a new face in the mix here, obviously for the Broncos, but like,
you need that depth though, man. People go down so fast. By week 5, I always say this. By week 5, all right, you're going to have 3 or 4 guys that are going to be missing. That's just how it goes in football. So does your depth come to play? Is there a major drop-off? So it's going to be fun to watch these battles. All right, not for just a starting job for somebody like Uwazurike, but like for the 2nd and 3rd slots, those spots right there. Who takes those spots? Because you're going to be playing a lot of football by the end of it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, there's just a lot of different guys, too. Like, you've got Savion Jones, you got Q Robinson. Again, I mentioned Red Murdoch. What happens with Jonah Ellis, right? I know there's been some back and forth kind of discussion on what his role might be with the Broncos in this upcoming season. So Uwazurike is the guy that ESPN highlights in this article, but even if it's not him, there's 3 or 4 other guys here, Phil, that could really break out for the Broncos this season playing up on the line.
Depth, baby. You got to have depth if you're going to go and win it all. Everybody matters. Everybody's going to play a role. Star in that damn role.
Yeah, no, well, we shall see what the future holds for Uwazurike and the rest of the depth on the Broncos defensive line. All right, when we come back, we'll keep it with football, but we'll go to the collegiate ranks where Expected starting quarterback Julian Lewis had something very, very bizarre to say yesterday at Big 12 Media Day. We'll tell you what it is next.
The Avalanche have set their sights on another Stanley Cup. But the biggest move of the offseason might not happen on the ice. What's next for Cale Makar as Colorado builds for the future? All eyes are on a potential contract extension for the franchise defenseman and cornerstone of the Avs organization. How will it get done? And what does it mean for the team's championship window? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And guys, I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now, driving down the street, who are thinking about popping that question here soon. So if that's the case, then you know you need a diamond. So I'm going to save you some time and money by explaining something simple to you. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something big for yourself for once, going to Williams Jewelers is where it's going to begin for you. Close your eyes and imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They're going to have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, plus the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, but they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and, of course, the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Hey, it's Phillip Lindsay here. Do you need a new roof, gutters, or exterior needs? Monarch is your one-stop shop, backed by 16 years of experience and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Their in-house insurance team fights for you, and their white glove service means every detail is handled with care. Competitive pricing, award-winning craftsmanship, and the only roofer the Denver Broncos chose to endorse. A proud member of Team Dave Logan, make the call to your home team, Monarch Construction and Roofing, the official roofer of the Denver Broncos.
Buying or selling a home? Let a Weichert agent guide you every step of the way to get the best price on your timeline with the least amount of stress for your peace of mind. Now that's smart real estate. Weichert, the bright choice. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Are you one of those people who dread going to the dentist? If so, have you tried sedation dentistry? Learn more about sedation dentistry at coloradosedation.com. Sit back, relax, and dream with the most experienced sedation dentist and staff at Clarkson Dental.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Call 855-TRAJAN-1. That's 855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
I'll let this one ride a little bit. It's one of the classics right here.
Bob Marley.
Yep. One of the greats.
Makes you feel like you're on a beach.
Somewhere, man.
Beach in Hawaii.
I'm going to be on the beach next week.
Are you?
Yeah, but I go to L.A., so it's not like Jamaica or anything, or Bahamas or anything like that. So, like, not as tropical. It'll still be a good time, but I'll be bumping this. I'll be thinking of you.
I appreciate it,
You want to know something that's actually funny real
Just
quick?
throw it in my face.
We'll talk juju here in just a moment, but I'm being so truthful when I say this. You want to know how much that Jokic conversation got to me that we had over the last couple of days? I had a dream about it last night, bro. I had a dream about it. I had a dream, not about our conversation, but I had a dream that Jokic signed.
No, just say it. I'm living in your head rent free right
now.
now.
No, it wasn't because it wasn't even about like the conversation, but it's like
Jokic.
Jokic contract. I also dream about work like all the time. Like it's probably not.
So
healthy.
you're like Sean. You're like Sean
yeah,
Payton,
something like that. You and I were talking about therapy in the break, right? And I'm like, maybe I gotta get that checked out a little bit.
You're obsessed.
Yeah, I am borderline obsessed with this industry.
But before we get into the juju clip, like, what about it? Like, what nightmare did you have? Did Jokic leave us?
No, but they're not nightmares. It's just like a story that plays out in my head, and it was Jokic like signing a contract extension, a max extension with Denver, and like you were like all of us. It was like a whole thing, bro. And it's like we're covering, and I'm looking at you. I'm like, I told you he was gonna sign, and like all this kind of stuff.
Okay, so it's like I told you so moment.
Yeah, kind of one of those.
Then you wake up and it's a dream. You say, damn.
It was all a dream, right? It's all right. That dream will become reality here at some point.
Hopefully.
But Juju Lewis, expectations high for Mr. Lewis entering in his second year with the Colorado Buffaloes. Look, and Phil, we talked about it a bit yesterday too, and last year was the definition of a failure, right? Just relative to expectation. Like, I understand there's probably going to be some expected drop-off losing Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders, but for Caden Salter to underperform the way that he did it. It's not just Caden Salter, but we know how important the quarterback position is, right?
I mean, but look, dude, I had high hopes for Caden Salter. I thought
Caden
Salter was going to come in.
You got bamboozled.
Yeah, for sure. I knew he wasn't the best when it came to just throwing the ball, but being able to move, get outside the pocket, maybe do some RPO, run pass option. I thought that was something that the Colorado Buffaloes were going to do a lot of, and instead, you're right. Fool's gold. Man, we got fooled out there, and it sucked.
Well, look, we know the quarterback is the general of the football field offensively, and Juju Lewis ends up playing in spurts here or there for the Colorado Buffaloes on the football field. But what we found out, a lot of criticism about Coach Prime, Pat Shurmur, the offensive scheme, or maybe the lack thereof. Julian Lewis yesterday at Big 12 Media Day revealed something fascinating about the game plan his CU Buffs deployed when he was under center last year.
My play, I'm actually looking at the defenses now. Last year we wasn't really looking at defense as much, just kind of high school free ball and just out there playing football. But, it's a lot bigger than that now, so it should be fun.
I got to play that just one more time.
Ahead,
just one more time.
My play, I'm actually looking at the defenses now. Last year we wasn't really looking at defense as much, just kind of high school free ball and just out there playing football. But, it's a lot bigger than that now, so it should be fun.
High school free balling, reading defenses for the first time in his career is essentially what Julian Lewis is saying. Like, that, to me, Phil, like, that's an absurd thing to hear. It truly is. And look, I understand Pat Shurmur's like public enemy number one in this town. Well, maybe not number one, but like not very well liked, and there was a lot of frustration over that.
You talking about Schumer?
Yeah.
Oh, he's number one. He's
number one?
He's number one in my heart. The man got rid of me.
That makes sense.
No, for Pat Shurmur, he didn't help the Colorado Buffaloes offense out. He was bland. All right, he wasn't creative at all. And his play, his mindset when it came to quarterbacks, it just wasn't good, especially for someone like Caden Salter who needs to be on the run. And then for Deion to hold on to Pat Shurmur for another year, I mean, it's like, what in the world are you doing? That's not going to help you out because Pat Schumer is not thinking outside the box, and he is not going to
Pat
be
Schumer wasn't thinking at all. Like it's not about like not thinking about outside the box. Like Julian Lewis is straight up telling you, you get in the huddle. Like you remember when you're like 9 years old and you're playing football with your dad, and it's like, okay, you're going to take 5 steps and run to the left.
So what was your take on what Juju said? Because I think I interpreted it a little bit different than maybe you. So
it was an broken system last year, if you even want to call it a system at this point.
So you think he's blaming the system? He's blaming Schumer?
No, I don't think. Maybe not blaming the system, but like the lack thereof a system, like the lack thereof a foundation of like, hey, like we talk about identities, right? With like the Broncos offense,
you got to have an identity.
You're a run first offense, you're a pass first offense, you got a drop back quarterback, you got a mobile quarterback. Like the Buffs didn't have any semblance of an identity last year, and Juju essentially confirmed that.
Well, for sure. Hands down, the Colorado Buffaloes did not have an identity at all.
But they didn't even try to have an identity.
Well, it's hard when you don't know the guys on the football team and you don't know their strengths and you don't tailor things towards their strengths. And also with Juju Lewis, he was just sitting there more than half the year. And then when he gets into the game, he's more of a pass-first type of quarterback that runs second. By that time, you're just out there free balling, right? You're just out there playing high school type of football. But what I think Juju Lewis is trying to say, I don't think he's trying to necessarily throw Pat Schumer under the bus. What he's saying is like, we weren't reading defenses, but that goes down on Julian Lewis, right? That's Juju's problem. And when you're young and you're a young quarterback, of course, it's hard for you to read defenses. When I got to college, I didn't necessarily know how to read a defense either. It took me time. It took me a couple years,
fair.
And so I think it's easy to simplify things for a young quarterback to say, hey, look, this is who you're going to read. You're going to read the middle linebacker to the safety, and you're going to either dump it down or throw the ball out of bounds because it's hard to try to tell these quarterbacks at a young age, this is what you should do. So I think this year, of course, Brendan Marion, the new offensive coordinator for the Colorado Buffaloes, I think they're going to be more detailed with Juju, and Juju's going to do a lot better because he's a little bit more mature. And I think that's what you're hearing from him.
Yeah, I mean, they better be, right? I mean, Julian Lewis is supposed to be the future of this program at the quarterback position, and bringing in Brendan Marion is maybe the one source of optimism you can have with the Buffs, not just offensively, but with the team across the board this year. I mean, it's one thing to process, what was going on in the pocket last year for Julian Lewis. It's another thing to outwardly admit, last year we weren't really looking at defense as much, just kind of high school free balling, just out there playing football. Like, that's a crazy thing to say publicly. And obviously, like, look, Julian's a kid. He'll learn from it and all that kind of stuff. But I forget which game it was. There was a moment last year where Caden Salter's like getting the play in his headphone or in his earplug, and he kind of just like looks at the sideline like WTF? Like what's going on here? Like, what are we doing? And there were some egregious turnovers and just egregious offensive play across the board. And essentially with what Julian Lewis said yesterday confirms that it wasn't necessarily always on the players. It doesn't even sound like these players were set up for success in any capacity offensively.
I mean, I'm with you. Look, Pat Shermer did not do any favors to Colorado's offense.
I don't think he did.
But also, like for Juju, there's a reason why he didn't start the year off, because he is immature, because he does need time to develop. He was 18 or 19 years old, all right, maybe even younger than that. So like it takes time to develop in this league. It's not the NFL, but it's college. It's the next best thing. So when you're dealing with guys that are getting ready to go to the NFL, it takes time to read these defenses. And I think someone like Brendan Marion, like we said, the offensive coordinator for Colorado now, I think he's going to slow it down. And a quarterback's best friend is the run game. Get the run game going. All right. It opens up the pass. It creates the play action for you. And I think then someone like Juju Lewis will start having success, and you can start breaking things down because now he has a baby year under his belt because it wasn't a full year.
Right.
But he also understands. Exactly. Dip that toe in, and he'll be able to read the defenses a little bit better this year than he did. Obviously, last year he didn't read a defense.
And a little bit of a turn here on this conversation. And I know there was a lot of reasons as to why this played out. But, like, that was probably the same – not probably. It was the same system that Shedeur Sanders found himself in. And I remember, like, there was this shock and awe factor about Shedeur. But, like, oh, my gosh, like, he's dropping. Not in the first round, not in the second round, not in the third round. And I know – and there was, some personality questions as well. But there's also the idea of, like, he was probably just out there free balling it and making it happen, too. So, just something to consider. But, yeah, just a wild, wild set of comments there from Julian Lewis about the – structure or lack thereof that was the Colorado Buffaloes offense a year ago. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, where did the Denver Broncos rank in ESPN's best starting lineups across the NFL? Phil and I will tell you next.
The Nuggets are making headlines. Payton Watson's contract talks are heating up, while Denver's reportedly exploring a blockbuster run at LeBron James. Can the Nuggets keep their rising young star and add one of the greatest players ever alongside Nikola Jokic? Stay locked in for the latest twists, rumors, and reactions. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hi, this is Larry Jager with SCL Mortgage. We can offer you the best loan program at the best rate available. Whether you are purchasing, refinancing, or interested in a second mortgage, visit myspecialmortgage.com or call 303-790-2222, NMLS number 1200716.
I'm Rob Wilhite of the Wilhite Law Firm. A lot of new firms aren't even from Colorado, but we are. For 47 years, we've known Colorado law, we fought for our neighbors, and we won for our community. If you've been injured, call 303 Good Law.
There's a difference between the cameras you buy at Home Depot and the cameras Vantage installs. Consumer cameras give you a grainy silhouette. Vantage cameras can read a license plate at the end of your driveway with full color night vision, 24/7 recording, and no monthly subscription fees, so you never miss a thing. Invest in real security for your home. Schedule a free Vantage Threat Zone Analysis report for your property. Call Vantage at 720-366-7759 or visit vssicolorado.com today.
Summer should be a time of joy for children, but Wish kids often miss out due to their illness, creating a dark chapter during a time that should be filled with sunshine and memories. A wish from Make-A-Wish Colorado can change everything for these children, giving them the strength and hope they need to persevere in their fight against critical illness. My name is Carrie Fletcher. I'm part of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. Today, Alpine Bank hopes you'll decide to make a life-changing impact in the life of Colorado Wish kids by supporting Make-A-Wish Colorado. There are currently more than 450 Colorado kids with critical illnesses who are waiting for a life-changing wish, and 110 more kids will be diagnosed this summer. You can help make their wishes come true. Visit wish.org/Colorado to help Make-A-Wish Colorado grant some memorable wishes this summer.
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question. And if you're ready for all that, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers. Located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
Getting a little older doesn't have to mean, well, getting older. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and if you're feeling low energy, can't sleep, can't lose weight, are struggling with brain fog, or your sex drive is off, it's time to change it up. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical strategies featuring TRT, GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more treat low T and other hormonal issues to help you shed pounds, have more energy, enhance your body composition, improve sleep, increase your sex drive, and so much more. Getting you back in the game again. So don't be older. Be stronger in the gym. Be sharper at work. Be better in the bedroom, and be more confident in every part of your life. So call us today and find out how our advanced treatment strategies could change the game for you. Your first visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on one of our advanced treatment plans on the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question. Is it really worth holding on to that timeshare that you know you need to get rid of? Here's the truth. The average maintenance fee just went up over 17%. That could have been 117%, and there's nothing you can do about it. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check for annual maintenance and assessment fees. I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. For 15 years, I've helped over 50,000 families cancel their timeshare. Not sell it, not transfer it, cancel it. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment and your maintenance fees would never go up? That's a lie. Are you ready to get rid of your timeshare once and for all? Simply call us and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit that explains all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your timeshare exit kit. 800-822-1490. That's 800-822-1490. 800-822-1490.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay. Leading off with a big story of the day, here's The Drive. Zach By and Denver, Colorado's own Phillip Lindsay.
All right, welcome on back into the program. Manilo Hero in for Zach By. We got a bit of breaking
Nuggets news to inform you guys of. It does not involve LeBron James.
Oh.
LeBron James has not made a decision.
Well, see, if it did involve LeBron James, I think you would have been more uppity about it. Like, hey, man, we got some breaking
I'd be going
news.
crazy. I'd be sweating bullets left and right. And it's like, oh, my gosh, this is happening, right? But no, this is kind of an expectation to a certain extent. This just came down from Shams a few minutes ago. The Denver Nuggets are waiving center Jonas Valanciunas. He, of course, as we know, he had a fully guaranteed $10 million contract coming up for this next season. Denver opts not to pick that up. And look, the writing was on the wall the moment Denver brought in Marvin Bagley, right? Because there's no need for Jonas Valanciunas at that point. But Denver's going to be able to stretch the money that they owe him. They owe him $2 million for the 2026-27 season, but they'll also be able to stretch that cap hit over the next few years. So it provides them with that key buzzword of flexibility while also, having Marvin Bagley kind of assume his role.
So, AP, why do you think they waited so long to decide to just cut ties with JV? I think this is something that you could have done early. All right, get this out the way.
Yeah.
You know you weren't going to bring him back, especially after you did sign another center. Why wait? Why wait until the deadline? The deadline was today, and I don't know the time that they needed to have it done.
I think it was just by
EOD.
EOD. Like, I don't think there was necessarily a specific time, because I know I was talking with our man Jake Shapiro, and he was expecting a decision to come down in the middle of his show, filling in for Cecil, and obviously,
take that, Jake.
An hour later, 62 minutes later, it comes out. But there was some speculation about the Nuggets trying to trade him. Could you recoup a second-round pick? Could you get something for Jonas Valanciunas so it's not just dead weight off your roster? If someone wants to pick it up, like if Jonas has a desire to continue playing in the NBA, and I know that was a massive topic of conversation last summer, he's going to get picked up by a team. I remember seeing something about the Lakers being interested, some other squads potentially being interested.
I don't think he wants to come back to the NBA. I mean, it was surfacing. The reason why there was so much drama around him before he signed with the Denver Nuggets is he was contemplating just staying in Europe.
Right.
And, it's either stay in Europe or play for the Denver Nuggets. And it seemed like Jokic and a couple other players had to talk him into wanting to play this year. He plays this year. Not a lot in the playoffs. I mean, my man played in 4 playoff games this year, 4 playoff games, had 11 points, and only played in 20 minutes. So if you're JV, it's like, man, I'm here, I made the money, but maybe I do want to go back home where my family and be closer to my family and play and know I'm going to play a lot and still get paid a lot of money.
Yeah, I think if I had to guess, like, unless a team makes him an offer he can't refuse, he might stick around the NBA. But just with how strong the desire was last year to go back to Europe, I would think that's probably his initial lean. But I think the big thing here is how much money the Nuggets are now going to be able to save and what this means for their cap situation moving forward. Ultimately, we'll see what they try to do. I mean, like honestly, like a lot of, like, think about it from not just Jonas, but the entire offseason's perspective here, Phil. It's been an extremely slow burn when it comes to moves with the Denver Nuggets, right? Like, it felt like they were one of the last, major teams in playoff, contention and championship contention that had made any sort of a move in free agency. Yeah. And it was signing Marvin Bagley and then bringing back Tyus Jones. They cut Jalen Pickett. But, like, the decisions that we thought would come fast and furious. Jonas Valanciunas. Are you trading Cam Johnson? Are you trading Jamal or AG? We still don't have the answer to that. The longer we go on in this process, it looks more and more like they're going to continue to run it back. But even Payton Watson, right? Like there has not been a definitive move.
Well, I think that's because they're waiting to see, with Payton Watson specifically, they're waiting to see if anybody offers P. Watt. so then they can
Yeah,
match it.
that's a little bit different with P1. But
Exactly.
everything
if they don't
else,
want to match it, then they can
like
slow play it.
I was in the building. I'm sitting there, front and center for Josh Kroenke's press conference where everything's on the table and this and that and yada, yada, yada. And like everyone's minds kind of start twirling. And I remember doing the post-game video or the post-press conference video with Jake. And like Jake's got like this serious tone about like, is this the last time we've seen Jamal Murray in a Nuggets
Jake
uniform?
is dramatic.
Are they going to trade Mr. Nugget? Right? But it's like, here we are. And I think I told you this. I know I said it on the air as well. Like, I'll believe it when I see it. Because I also truly do believe that the Nuggets' best path to contention is running it back. I ultimately still think they'll fall short. But the fact that they haven't done anything drastic yet is not a surprise to me.
Okay, why though? Why is
what
it
I
not
just said.
surprise? Just because you think this is the best case scenario? Like to try to win?
Especially because maybe if Jaylen Brown is getting traded for a first and the corpse of Paul George, like what are you getting for Jamal Murray? Jaylen Brown's a better player.
Yeah,
Jaylen Brown was
Celtics,
top 10
right?
in MVP.
Like word came out that the Celtics were not interested in Jamal Murray and getting something done right there.
And did you see the other breadcrumbs that came out? I think I saw it this morning that, and this is speculation, let's put the tinfoil hat on for just a moment, that Jaylen Brown was potentially leaking information to teams that he didn't want to go to.
I did not see that. Does it
to
surprise
kind of turn
you?
team's off. No,
I
Jaylen
mean,
Brown
the
seems like an
man, the
interesting
man's
guy.
always on TikTok and he's on the podcast for himself. He's always talking. So, like, of course, if he doesn't want to go somewhere, he's going to try to let it be known in a sly way. But things come out. But here's the thing. This is what I think. This is what I think the Denver Nuggets are doing. This is why they didn't make a bunch of moves yet. Right? JV's the first one. Maybe it's the first domino to fall.
Pickett.
Pick
and a couple small
for
signings.
sure. But I'm talking about the big ones, like maybe AG, maybe Cam Johnson, maybe it is Jamal Murray.
Don't hold your breath.
But the reason why is because they're waiting for this LeBron James news. They're holding out hope that they can get LeBron James. They're going to keep the crew together, maybe pay Payton Watson, and then running back that way with adding a sprinkle of LBJ, who's 41 years old. They're waiting for LBJ to make his decision, and then they'll start to say, okay, like whether are we going to run it back or are we going to try to trade somebody off? But they're waiting for LeBron, man.
But two things with that: if they wait for LeBron and they lose out on LeBron, they're going to be left with scraps and breadcrumbs.
Well, no, because their plan B is to just run it back with this crew.
But fair, but also think about how uber aggressive the Nuggets were at the start of last free agency, right? It's like, boom, Tim Hardaway Jr., boom, Jonas Valanciunas,
but they had the
Bruce
luxury
Brown,
at
away
that.
we go.
At that time, they had the luxury to do that. They don't have it now.
Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown were minimum vet min guys.
But that was when they decided to pick them up early, right? This is late in the game.
But
they're not going to pick somebody up like Tim Hardaway Jr. now, are they?
No, but the point and look, Tim Hardaway Jr. got more than the vet min to go to Miami, of course. But like the point being is Denver was very aggressive in the vet min market. And maybe the vet min market isn't quite the same as it was last year, right? And guys are holding out for bigger contracts and whatever it might be. But it's interesting. It really is because
you don't think this has to do with LeBron?
I think maybe it has something to do with it, but also, like, again, on the vet min conversation, like, the only way LeBron is coming here is on a vet min.
He's not taking a
But
vet
that's
min.
what Denver can offer.
But also, Denver may say, okay, if LeBron's willing to come, then we may make a move. We may end up getting rid of Aaron Gordon, who, if you get rid of Aaron Gordon, that takes almost $32 million off the books.
Don't you think LeBron will want some assurances of what that roster looks like? And don't you think LeBron would want to play with the best version of AG and Jamal and Joker?
If you can get the best version of these guys. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but what I'm saying is, like, they're slow playing this. And when I mean it's Ben Tinzer, John Wallace, Josh Kroenke, the organization. They're slow playing this to see what it looks like if LeBron James decides to sign with them. And if not, then maybe they're saying, hey, we'll risk going into that luxury tax, running it back because we want to keep the big man Jokic happy, and let's try to win as many games as possible and try to make a run in the playoffs again, hoping that everybody can stay healthy. Because there is not a lot of other options out there, AP. There's not.
No, you're right about that. And that's why it's like, and again, as a guy who's been pretty out on LeBron James from like a fandom perspective for a majority of his career, like if you could get LeBron James this offseason, I don't think you could have had a better offseason. Right? Like I think adding LeBron James is probably the single best move this Nuggets team can make this offseason to get them in championship contention. Even trading Jamal Gordon, not sure what those would have netted or continued to net if they explore those opportunities that might be out there. Like, it's all about LeBron, right? And ultimately, like, if you don't land LeBron James, which according to Shams Charania appears to be the case, that Denver will not acquire LeBron James.
Who's in the race again? It was Philly,
Cleveland, and Miami, and apparently Minnesota and Golden State are in the mix as well. That's
so those 5 teams right now. They didn't talk about the Denver Nuggets.
Right.
So if that doesn't happen,
which is an
seems like
indictment
it's
on
maybe
them
not.
because this is Josh Kroenke we're talking about. This is supposed to be LeBron's boy, right? Like they're jumping off yachts together in the Mediterranean somewhere. He's sending them jerseys. Like he's talking, like LeBron literally talked about it a few years ago. How Josh sent him a rainbow.
They're
skyline.
business boys. All right, like it's about business.
But
And
can't
for
you, like-
LeBron's looking at it as a business. And maybe LeBron's saying, hey, look, I wish I could go there. I know you're my guy, Josh Kroenke, but this team is not enough. Like, I don't see this team winning it. So why would he sign there?
That's
if
where
he
you and I
doesn't
disagree.
believe?
That's where you and I disagree. I think if you add LeBron, you have a chance. But also, and look, I can't say Josh Kroenke failing to bring in LeBron James is all his fault because, like, LeBron loves to play the media game better than anybody.
Yeah, it's his decision.
You got Rich Paul with Max Kellerman doing like a PowerPoint presentation on the whiteboard. I mean, it's theatrical. It really is. Like, nobody knows how to absorb the spotlight better as a free agent than LeBron James. It becomes the LeBron James show, right?
That's why it's like, do you really want my man coming here?
Yeah, I do. Because
Okay.
I think it gives Denver a better chance to win.
Okay.
That's ultimately kind of where I end up on that.
Well, that's what it looks like the Denver Nuggets are trying to do. That's why they're quiet. That's why they're waiting. They're being patient. The Denver Broncos did the exact same thing. They were patient, and everybody was going ballistic, and they were panicking and worrying. And all of a sudden, a big-time splash came our way, and we pick up Jalen Waddle, my former teammate, when he was with the Miami Dolphins. And now we're sitting here saying we have a great chance to try to go to a Super Bowl because you got Jalen Waddle. So maybe, AP, maybe, that's exactly what the Denver Nuggets are doing. They're being patient. They're trying to see what LBJ does. And then their plan B is, hey, we're going to run it back with the same unit, with the same core, and hope that they can stay healthy.
Yeah, and ultimately I do think that is going to be the case. And I think from the Nuggets' perspective, the fact that they're in the headlines associated with LeBron James is a win in and of itself, right? And look, it's truly living on a prayer for LeBron James to come here. But, like, the thing that, like, you have to take the Avalanche out of the equation when you look at the Kroenke ownership of sports teams around the world, right? But, like, look at the standard they've built Arsenal up to. Like, look at the standard that the Rams have been built up to. Like, what do the Rams do when they're just short? And I understand the Rams are closer to a Super Bowl than the Nuggets are to a championship. But even
they're aggressive.
But even go back a couple of years ago, like year after they lost to Minnesota the following season, right? Like the Rams double down and go out there and get Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Like an all-time move for an all-time defensive player. Now, look, Myles Garrett isn't to the NFL what LeBron James is to the NBA. Myles Garrett will go down as an all-time great pass rusher. LeBron James will go down as a Mount Rushmore NBA player.
But also, Myles Garrett is younger than LBJ.
Correct.
LBJ is at the end of his prime.
And it's a different situation. But point being is, I'm looking at Arsenal going for it. I'm looking at the Rams going for it. The Avalanche, like I said, are kind of in their own realm, and I trust Joe Sakic, right? But, like, the Nuggets, it's like, why are we in this purgatory stage of, like, we're almost settling for mediocrity? At least that's what it feels like from an outsider's perspective. And, again, LeBron isn't the only person that could do this. We could talk about DeMar DeRozan. I think adding DeMar DeRozan,
you would like that move.
I think that'd be a fascinating addition for the Nuggets.
Where would that fit in with this? Like, do you keep this core together and add DeMar, or are you getting rid of somebody?
Because DeMar's, he got bought out, or they negotiated a buyout, rather, with the Sacramento Kings. So that's another guy that's probably interested in potentially taking him in, knowing that he's still got money coming from Sacramento. And I believe the way it works is, like, if he was to sign for more than the min, that eats into the guaranteed money that's agreed to in the buyout.
Yeah.
So there's almost a motivation to take the minimum contract, right? But, like, there's moves to be made. And like, I understand kind of waiting to see how the market plays out, Phil, I do. But, like, when you have, like, Nikola Jokic is better than Matthew Stafford. Nikola Jokic is better than Myles Garrett, in my opinion. Nikola Jokic is better than, all of these guys that, are the leaders of these other teams. Like, we're talking about Nikola as an all-time great.
But also, Matthew Stafford did win MVP.
Correct.
He has a Super Bowl.
Jokic has how many of them things?
Okay, but also just one championship, just like Matthew.
Right, but point being, it's like, when you think,
point being.
But when you think of Matthew Stafford in the grand scheme of the NFL, like, he's a top what quarterback?
Matthew Stafford's a top 5 quarterback.
All time?
Oh, all time.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like
saying.
This, all time, I'm not sure.
Like, we're going to look back at Matthew Stafford in 20 years and be like, yeah, that guy was nice.
Matthew Stafford is he's better than nice, AP. He was with the, we have to understand, he was with the Detroit,
like Stafford's never
the
gonna
Lions.
But Stafford's never going to be in the same conversation as Elway, Aikman, Brady, Manning, right? Like, Jokic has the opportunity to be in that type of conversation.
I'm glad that you said opportunity. The only way for Jokic to be in that have that opportunity and be talked about like that is if he wins another championship.
Right.
And so maybe this is their best chance, and this is why they're kind of staying quiet, because they have plan A, get LeBron James. I don't believe that that's going to be a good plan to win a championship, but what else is out there? Plan B, keep the core together, hope to hell that you can stay healthy and that Jokic can have another great year, and of course Jamal Murray can have another great year. And so I think those are their two plans. No matter what, I will be okay with it, because I was sitting here saying, as a fan, I just want to see an opportunity for the Denver Nuggets to win another championship. And right now, if you don't get LeBron James, the next best option will be just to run it back with this core and add a couple fringe players that can play some really good defense for you. And hopefully you can develop the two guys that you drafted, and at some point they can play some meaningful minutes coming off the bench for you.
Well, I mean, the
Hopefully.
Nuggets' inability to draft, competent players. Like, Dante, what was the list that you gave me real quick about the Lakers Summer League lineup from a few years ago?
Oh, it was the 2017 team was just absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
6 pretty good NBA starters on that team: Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso, Brandon Ingram, Zubac, Josh Hart was on that team as well. And then there was another 4 or 5 rotational players in the NBA. So just an all-time loaded Summer League team.
Yeah, and look, that's like Dante said, the all-time peak of the mountain when it comes to Summer League roster, right? But you look at the Nuggets Summer League rosters the last few years, and it's you don't even have one guy that you feel like could be in the rotation for the most part, right? And obviously, Peyton Watson is probably the best player that Calvin Booth selected. I think Christian Brown's obviously the most established, but and I know it's not fair to the kid. What is Deron Holmes, right?
He's still practicing with the Summer League team,
right?
He's trying to earn his respect. That's actually what he said today, that he's doing the Summer League and he's there because he wants to earn his team's respect. He wants to get better, of course, and he hasn't earned the right to go on vacations. So hopefully this helps him out. Deron Holmes we're talking about, because I truly thought that he could come in and play some meaningful minutes, and I truly think that Calvin Booth, when he was the general manager, thought that he could replace AG with Deron Holmes, and that never played out because Deron Holmes ends up ripping his Achilles. So, but you need somebody like that to come along and start stepping up and playing some bigger minutes if you're going to run it back with this team.
Right, and I'm looking at the Summer League roster, and I mean, there's 2 guys on this roster, honestly, that I know of, which I don't know if that's a terrible thing from my perspective, but there's 3, excuse me, Trevin Brazil, who they drafted out of Arkansas.
Yep.
Who I think has, maybe some upside in this league, but I don't think Trevin Brazil is a guaranteed difference maker for the Nuggets. Bryce Hopkins, who they drafted out of St. John's, and I'm a big Johnny's guy. Shout out Rick Pitino, love that.
There you go.
But we'll see how that shakes out. And then your guy, KJ Simpson, right? Former CU Buff. Interestingly enough, KJ grew up in the area of Los Angeles where I have a lot of connections to, and I spent some time out there in my youth, and it's this whole weird connection.
Yeah, KJ's a good dude.
But point being is and again, the Lakers roster that we just threw out there that Dante presented to us, that is the exception, right? That is not normal. But you're throwing out guys, and look, the Lakers had a ton of top picks at that point too. But you're looking at the Summer League roster for the Nuggets, and it's hopefully Trevin Brazil looks okay. Hopefully Bryce Hopkins looks serviceable. KJ Simpson's older than all these guys. Hopefully he looks good out there, right? It's far from a sure thing.
No, and let's
help
be
is
real.
not on the way from the youth.
No, help is not on the way. And even the guys that you talked about, they're older. The draft picks that we just had, they're older guys anyway, because they're hoping that these guys are already mature. They can put them in the system,
right,
and they can do their part, right? Star in their little role. That probably won't be the case. And this is why the Denver Nuggets are being quiet, because they're waiting on LBJ. Can he make a decision? And we don't know when that decision's coming. And if not, they're willing to bite that bullet, go into the luxury tax, run it back with this core, hope to stay healthy, hope that Jokic can be even more dominant, and then make that run.
Look, and you say they're waiting for LBJ.
They are.
And look, we got some folks on the Ramos.com text line. Hit us up if you want to get involved as well, 303-713-1043. We appreciate you guys. And they're saying, hey, the Nuggets are being reported to be out of the LeBron James race, right? And we've seen that stuff from Shams, excuse me. I've also seen a couple of other tweets from some other, quote-unquote insiders that say the opposite. I'll trust Shams more than anything. But here's what I will say. I don't even know if I believe Shams to a certain extent. fully.
He's the NBA
because
insider.
Here's the thing. I said it a few minutes ago. LeBron James and Rich Paul are the masters of utilizing the media to their advantage. Right, and so maybe it's as much of a game as I think Shams is reporting what he should be reporting. That's probably what he's being told. But would it not surprise you if there's a game within the game being played behind the scenes with Rich Paul and LeBron?
No, it would not.
And
it's
I say
LeBron
that
James.
I say that to say this though, Phil. Even when the news came out about LeBron and Denver's on the list, percentage wise, what were they at realistically? No higher than 10%. Right? Like, this was always going to be
at
a
one
long
point,
shot.
the odds makers did have him, and this is when ZB was in town.
Yes,
the odds makers
they were
had
like
him like
third.
Exactly. Like, and I think we put it at like a 30% chance of LBJ coming in.
Wow, that's
at
high.
that. And that was at that time. So now that they're
Prisoner of the moment. I was the same way. I was the same way. No, I was the same way. It's like, oh my gosh, everyone's talking about this.
But
and
now,
Rich Paul.
like, look at it. Like, Sham Sarania is not even talking about the Denver Nuggets being a part of this. Now, maybe they are.
Is that a smoke screen, though?
It could be. But also, like I've said, all right, if you're LeBron James and you're 41 years old and you really want a ring, is the Denver Nuggets your best opportunity to win? Probably not. You would probably go to someone like the Spurs, all right, like Miami, that's loaded, and you don't have to do much.
But if he's not considering San Antonio and he's not considering OKC, there's never been a connection there. Like, if he's truly trying to chase a ring, you would think those two teams would be at the top of the list, or the Knicks, right? And I know Rich Paul came out and said, look, if they didn't win a championship, that's where we'd be right now. Like, I don't know. And, like, that's where, like, I put it on. Like I said, I can't blame Josh Kroenke, but it's like, can you? Like, this is supposed to be your boy.
But also,
right?
like
you're jumping off mega yachts together.
but LeBron has the deciding factor. Like, he gets to decide where he wants to go. So you can pitch.
I can't wait
this
for the
until,
sympathy tweet.
I'm just saying, you can pitch until he's blue in the face. But if he doesn't want to take the bait, or he doesn't want to come here because he just doesn't feel like it's the right move, my man's not coming here.
But
so you got to have that plan B. And the plan B is to run it back, AP.
With the rosters as is.
Yeah. Which ones?
LeBron, I'm going to give you two teams. Tell me which team has a better chance to win a championship if he goes there.
Okay.
Is it Denver or Miami?
Miami.
Really?
Yes.
Who is shooting the basketball?
LeBron James, Tim Hardaway Jr. LeBron gets to be like number 2, right? He'll have a role as a number 2 if he wants to. Number 3 if he wants to.
They lost Norm Powell. Tim Hardaway Jr. was great for the Nuggets last year off of the bench.
For sure.
Incredible three-point shooter, higher than his career averages was THA last year. Like, and here's the other allure to the Nuggets, I would think, for LeBron, is he doesn't have to even be a second option if he doesn't want to be.
But he wants to be.
Do you think so?
I do think so.
Because I saw a guy kind of fed up with the situation in L.A.
He was fed up, but also he felt betrayed because they did bring in Luka. And things weren't going well, and they weren't meshing well together. And then he kind of fell back into that third role, did well, but that's not what he wanted. He's LeBron James. Even though he's getting older, he still has that ego.
Disagree. I
disagree, but I'm just saying, man. Like
he still
the
has
Miami
an ego.
Heat have more upside, and they play better defense. And I think this comes down to, if we've been watching these playoffs and we watch the NBA Finals, we understand that the two teams that end up going and playing against each other play really good defense.
True or false? Nikola Jokic would be the greatest teammate LeBron James has ever had.
I'm gonna say true, because Jokic gets that ball around. But I mean, D-Wade was up there with
I
LeBron,
agree. I agree.
I'm looking at D-Wade, and I know I might be a little
Kyrie
biased. 'Cause
Irving.
I love me some D-Wade. Kyrie Irving's another one, but Jokic, like, he's just a human supercomputer, right? We all know that. To go with someone like LeBron James that's just like him when it comes to just getting that ball around, yes. But you're also looking for a guy that our team, that has younger players that are willing to play that defense. Jokic is not. And the people around Jokic don't play good enough defense for LeBron just to kind of be on that offensive side of the court.
Was defense the primary reason they lost to Minnesota?
Denver? Hell yes.
I mean, I remember scoring them.
Yes,
scoring under 100 points in multiple games in that series.
It doesn't matter about the scoring. Like, you got to play defense. And the Denver Nuggets did not play defense, and Minnesota did.
If their offense plays anywhere near the level they did in the regular season, that series maybe doesn't go that way.
If hands were pots and pans, the
let
world
me
would be
say
a
this
kitchen.
too. Let me say this too, because I asked you that question about LeBron and Jokic.
Yeah.
LeBron James would be the best teammate Nikola Jokic has ever had. Prime of his career with prime Jamal and LeBron. All I'm saying is you can't guarantee anything. You can't. But you cannot sit here and tell me that adding LeBron James does not get the Nuggets closer to winning a championship when they're
Tell that to
currently
LeBron.
constructed.
Obviously, LeBron.
Hello, LeBron. 303-713-1043. Call us up. Rich Paul, where you at? Like, let's have this
Tell that to
conversation.
LeBron.
I think Minnesota's an interesting option. But, like, I'm looking at Miami. I'm saying, where's the shooting? I'm looking at Cleveland. That's different because it's home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know people are hot and cold on this topic, but I just think LeBron James would be awesome with the Denver Nuggets. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, it's time for the 3 count. Phil and I will tell you what you need to know next.
The wait is almost over, Broncos country.
And I like football.
Training camp is right around the corner, and all eyes are on Bo Nix as Denver looks to take the next step in year 3 under Sean Payton. Can the Broncos build on last season's momentum? Who will emerge in key position battles? And are the Broncos ready to become a true contender in the AFC? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
Guys, are you looking for a simple solution to hair loss this summer? Get Advanced Hair's breakthrough one-day treatment during their once-yearly summer savings event. Your own natural hair begins to regrow the very next day, and Advanced Hair guarantees it will grow. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar during Advanced Hair's best offer ever. For details and a free consultation, call 720-459-HAIR or at advancedhair.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
When you decide to sell your home, don't settle for a good agent. Go for a great one. Go for a Weichert agent. A Weichert agent looks at you as a partner, not a transaction, and will work day and night to get you the results you're looking for. And your Weichert agent is backed by the Weichert brand. With over 50 years of experience, Weichert agents have guided thousands of buyers and sellers through every facet of home ownership. Don't settle for good, go for great. Work with a Weichert agent. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. Summer is here, and if you're planning a home project this year, windows, siding, or decking, now is the time to sign before the snow flies. Don't wait. Get the project you've always wanted and lock in a low-interest loan as low as 6.99% for 15 years. You deserve to enjoy your home, and 5280 Exteriors makes it easy with financing built for real Colorado homeowners. Call today or visit 5280exteriors.com to schedule your free estimate.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
This July, make the most of summer adventures in the all-new 2026 Honda Passport from Champ Honda. Designed for drivers who want capability without compromise, the Passport is equally at home on Colorado back roads, weekend camping trips, or your daily drive across town. At Champ Honda, buying is just as easy, thanks to their one price, one person, 1 hour philosophy, giving you a transparent price, a single advisor, and a faster, more enjoyable experience. Plus, Champ Honda never charges dealer handling fees.
The fun doesn't stop at the rides at Elitch Gardens. Watch incredible drone shows light up the Denver sky. Then grab a tube and float into a dive-in movie marathon week, where blockbuster family films play right in the wave pool. Meet family favorites like Blippi and Mika, Peppa Pig, and the Power Rangers during special live appearances all season long. Plus, enjoy thrilling coasters, family rides, and Colorado's only combination theme and water park. Make your summer unforgettable at Elitch Gardens. Get tickets and season passes now at elitchgardens.com.
There are so many out-of-state roofing companies, and roofing companies claiming to be locally owned, yet owned by out-of-state private equity firms.
Denver Roof Pros is the real deal. We are truly locally owned and operate right out of Denver.
We've been serving the Front Range and the Eastern Plains from Fort Collins to Colorado Springs for 10 years.
Choose local. Choose DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
Brendan Stokely from my friends at Roller Auction, leader in Colorado auctions for over 40 years. They conduct over 150 auctions every year, selling tens of thousands of items at the price you set. Auctions are held regularly for Colorado government agencies, and they always have big-ticket items at great prices. That's why I love Roller Auction. And almost all bidding is conducted online in real time, and it's open to the public. Anyone can participate. Check back regularly. New auctions are added weekly. Be the first to know about new auctions available for bidding when you sign up for email notifications. Go to rollerauction.com/thefan.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan is brought to you by Biondino Law Firm.
Want to partake in our contests? Check out the rules at DenverSports.com. Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is flyout, FLYOUT. Text flyout to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's flyout to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Every day at 3:30, the drive comes off the top rope to hit you with a 1, 2, 3.
Finally, the Rock has come back to Denver.
Tape your wrists, stretch your spandex, and oil your hair. Here's Zach and Phil with today's 3 count on the drive.
All right, AP, it's my turn this time, man. You're on the ground. I'm climbing on the ropes, coming off the top ropes with it.
All right. It is the 3 count brought to you by our friends over at Homestrong, Colorado's foundation repair and concrete experts. You see the Rockies game last night by chance? You got to unmute. What just happened? You were just talking.
Yeah, I had to unmute. I had to mute myself for a second, let you talk, and then I was ready to go. I had to take a breath. Usually I'm not the one coming off the top ropes with it. Usually it's ZB, so I'm new to this. But yes, AP, I did, man. It was fun to watch. The comeback kings, huh?
Yeah, you know, typically when you see Rockies, Dodgers on the schedule, you think it's like an automatic loss. And I was sitting on the couch last night, and I was like, let's check in on the good old fighting Colorado Rockies. And they do end up coming from behind last night to win 4-3 in absolutely epic fashion. You love to see that anytime they can beat the Rockies, or anytime they can beat the Dodgers, excuse me. You're always into that.
I know. It's like, come on, the Rockies get beat all the time. So anytime the Rockies can win a game, that's great, especially when it's against the Dodgers.
Extra innings, everything that kind of comes with that too. And, it's one of those situations where, like I said, that's the entertainment aspect of this Rockies team, right? Is they're not as good as they, all of us want them to be necessarily, but they can still be entertaining along the way.
Competitive, competent, finding ways to win, even if it's ugly. Coming back. It's entertaining, it's fun, and it's still about building up, right? You're building this foundation. You're trying to figure out and find these players that fit this system. I know you want to get rid of everybody, AP, but maybe they don't. Maybe they keep a couple young guys to go with the younger guys, and you build the core that way. But it's still fun to watch. You get to watch a really good baseball game in the Dodgers, and so, yeah, man, and I'm all in. This reminds me of, in baseball terms, I know it's different, baseball and football are different, but when I was with the Houston Texans and Nick Caserio came in and he decided to put a bunch of old guys on the team and then he wanted us to play. And the guys that stayed around that he liked would be there the next year. And that seems like what the Rockies are doing. They want to find these younger guys that are in the middle, right? These middle guys that can stay around to help the younger guys that are going to come in and help build this Rockies back up.
Yeah, like I said, like typically when they play the Dodgers, you think it's going to be a bulldozing 3 or 4 game series, right? I mean, they obviously an upsetting loss in extra innings on Monday. Last night they come from behind to win 4-3. I'll let you call your shot right now. Do the Rockies win the series against the Dodgers tonight?
Who's on the mound? Do we know for the Dodgers? We got to figure that out. It's not Shohei.
Roki Sasaki is on the mound, so that's going to be interesting.
I don't believe the Rockies win this next one. I don't think they're going to take the series.
Gabriel Hughes on the mound for Colorado. He will make his first start in his major league career. He was a 2022 first-round pick.
Yeah, so you got a first guy on the mound. You got a vet on the other side. I mean, no. I think the Dodgers win this one. But the Rockies keep it close. Competent, competitive. That's
moral victories, what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I'm not into the moral victories, but they're going to keep it close.
Okay, all right, we'll see what happens to the Rocks. Nice win for them last night.
1, 2.
All right, this is one that hits home for me. 16 years ago, I'm on the phone with my buddy, watching ESPN left and right, waiting for the updates. What is LeBron James going to do?
Were you 14 years old at that time?
I think a little bit young, 13, 14, somewhere around there. I kind of told you the story that came of this decision after the fact as well, but 16 years ago, LeBron James sits down with Jim Gray and issues the famous words, "I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat." I cannot believe, Phil, the decision was 16 years ago today.
Yeah, it's insane, and I knew right off the bat, damn, Miami's getting ready to win a championship. And then I was already a D-Wade fan, right? At that time, D-Wade had already won a championship with Shaq. And so now it's like, okay, LeBron's pairing up with D-Wade and Chris Bosh. Like, who's stopping this duo or trio? And sure enough, they go in there and they win a championship.
What does the NBA landscape look like if LeBron goes back to Cleveland?
Like now? Or
yeah, like what do you think is kind of the ripple effect if it goes the other way? Because I can tell you what the ripple effect is of obviously what happened. Like, I'll come out and say this, like, LeBron James making the decision to leave the Cleveland Cavaliers and go team up. It's one thing to leave Cleveland. It's another thing to go to Miami, right? Where they remember, because Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh had already committed Dwayne Wade to re-sign, Chris Bosh to sign as a free agent. Like, that's where not even like the super team era was born, right? Because you had Boston, you had obviously Chicago in the 90s, you had the Lakers in the early 2000s as well, San Antonio in the mix too. But I don't think, like, if LeBron stays in Cleveland or even just doesn't go to Miami, I don't even know if Kevin Durant makes the move to Golden State. Like, I think part of it, no, seriously, I think part of the reason that Kevin Durant made the decision to go to Golden State is because LeBron made it acceptable to make that type of a move across the league.
AP, Kevin Durant's a grown-ass man. He gets to make his decisions. He wanted to go to a team
LeBron
that was
broke down a barrier.
LeBron
broke down a barrier.
It was already done. It has already been done. It wasn't LeBron and then with super teams. Like, there was a couple super teams before LeBron.
But of the best player in the league, the best young up-and-coming player in the league opting to join a formidable team already, like that's what I'm saying is, like, say what you want to say about Michael Jordan, say what you want to say about Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, like, these guys, there is something to winning where you're drafted or at least being planted in one place for a long time.
And that's why I don't respect LeBron as much anymore, because he jumped ship to ship, right? But I mean, to me, I guess it doesn't matter. They were going to do this anyway. Somebody else would have done this. If it wasn't LeBron, somebody else, it would have still been Kevin Durant. Just because his mindset was to pair up.
So you think Kevin Durant still goes to Golden State if LeBron went back to Cleveland?
Because if Kevin Durant wanted to, he could have said, I'm this good. I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do what Kobe does or did. And I'm going to try to win with my team. I'm not going to try to jump ship and go to a superstar team.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that, like, it's within you. Who you are as a person.
I think it was a total Bush League soft move. I get why he did it, right? But it's like that feels like it was the spearhead of the player empowerment that we see in sports today, which is a good thing to a certain extent. But, like, that move in and of itself, I'm not sure if it was great for the sport. Obviously, we got some epic matchups between him and San Antonio in the finals. Arguably the greatest moment I've seen in sports history. Off the LeBron miss, by the way. Rebound Bosh out to Allen Bang. That all kind of spurs from that, too. But it's crazy. Dante, I know you and I, we're the same age here. Did you have any long-lasting thoughts about the decision, like in its impact in NBA history?
It actually did the opposite on me. I grew up a Miami Heat fan. Both my parents are from Miami, so I'm a Hurricanes fan, Dolphins fan. I used to really like the Heat and D-Wade, but I was so anti-LeBron that when he went there, I dropped my Heat fandom.
Damn.
Wow. So we're a little bit, like, do you think like saying it ruined the game is probably too much.
I think it was good for the game. I think it was player empowerment and saying, hey, we have these mechanisms to be free agents, and I'm going to use that mechanism to be a free agent. He didn't go about it the wrong way or anything. It wasn't like he signed a new contract with Cleveland and then demanded out. I think that would have been bad business. But if you're a free agent, I mean, that's why the rules are built that way.
Do what you want.
Does it affect his legacy, though?
I mean, no, I like it, no matter what LeBron James does, Michael Jordan will forever be the greatest player to play this game.
My GOAT. Always my GOAT.
Always. So, I mean, for him, it's like he's chasing, his legacy. He's chasing another ring. He can do what he wants. I'm always going to have Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and then maybe LBJ.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a lasting memory in my head. Like, I remember being on the landline with my buddy, right, summer vacation from class, and it's like, the Knicks were in the mix, and the Nets were in the mix, and the Bulls were in the mix, right? Like all of these teams were in the mix for LeBron James, and it's like, he went to where? I just feel like it changed the way, free agency was perceived, and Dante's absolutely correct. He did what he was allowed to do. He didn't break any rules, but it's like, it feels like he kind of broke, like, the standard that was brought before him of, like, what the best player in the league does. Like, we saw with Kobe kind of stick it out in L.A. We saw Michael Jordan where, like, it didn't work out in Chicago. He retires for a cup of coffee, and then Washington is kind of its own thing, right? Like Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, right? Yeah. Like kind of like this signature of guys playing for these organizations. LeBron kind of broke that mold. Because like before LeBron, I can't even think of this off the top of my head. Who was like the best player to swap around franchises as a star and win a championship? Hakeem in Houston, right? Like it's pretty uncommon. He broke the barrier down, as I like to say. All right, we're going to kick out a 3 here, but a good conversation on LeBron James 16 years ago to the day, making the decision to take his talents to South Beach. Let us know your thoughts on that on the RamosLaw.com text line. When we come back, we'll get back to the Denver Broncos here. A little conversation about Davis Webb and just how the Broncos offense might look and feel a little bit different with him calling plays. That's next.
With the MLB trade deadline fast approaching, Houston is reportedly showing strong interest in Colorado outfielders Jake McCarthy and Mickey Moniak. Could 2 of the Rockies' hottest bats be on the move? And who else could be shipped out to rebuild the club? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of my friends at American Financing. Let's do some honest math. The interest rate on your credit cards, 20% or more. Your mortgage rate, much lower. So why are you sending hundreds of dollars a month to credit card companies when your home's equity could wipe out that debt? That's exactly what American Financing helps homeowners do. And they're doing it every single day for people just like you. Consolidate, collaborate, conquer. The average customer saves around $800 a month, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants are licensed in all 50 states. No upfront fees, no obligation. Stop financing your past and start funding your future. Call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, it's Mike Evans with all these Bluebird days in Colorado. Enjoy the view through energy-efficient windows from Bluebird Windows and Doors. Through July, it's their Buy More, Save More event. Save up to 20% on your window and door projects. And when you mention you heard it from me, you'll save an extra 5%. Bluebird's family-owned, serving the Front Range for over a decade with windows, doors, and siding built for Colorado's harsh climate. Financing is available. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
I'm Rob Wilhite. For almost 50 years, Colorado has trusted the Wilhite Law Firm after serious car accidents. With over $1 billion recovered, we know how to win for our community. Injured? Call 303-GOOD-LAW or visit WilhiteWins.com. That's WilhiteWins.com.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're over 50, there's a good chance you're dealing with an enlarged prostate. Waking up at night, weak stream, all of it. Here's the good news. PAE, prostate artery embolization, is minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatment with near zero impact on sexual function. Lakewood location, personalized care. Visit coloradoae.com.
Switching your account numbers is hard. Being forced to switch, even worse. That's why at Belco Credit Union, we want to pay you to switch. From June 1st to August 31st, we're offering a $300 bonus when you open a new checking account with a qualifying direct deposit of $500 or more. They changed your account number. You can change who you bank with. Go to belco.org/switch for full offer details. Insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required. Conditions and restrictions apply. Belco. Banking for everyone.
What's going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here, and I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who are thinking about popping that question. And if you're ready for all that, you know you need a diamond. So let me save you time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or finally just doing something special for yourself for once, this is where it's going to begin. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest Suits Diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secrets of the business with you, they're going to give you the best price in Colorado, guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers. Located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue, and also in Inglewood at Broadway and Bellevue. And don't forget to mention my name, Phillip Lindsay, when you step through one of those doors.
One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue Today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue Today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, Sean Pond at text line firing up about the LeBron James conversation. If you missed that, 16 years to the day, LeBron James made the decision to take his talents at South Beach to the Nuggets. Looking to bring him to Denver, although it looks like that window is maybe just a smidge, just a crack open.
Just keep hoping, AP. Just keep hoping.
Living
There's
on a
still
prayer.
hope. Until my man LeBron James decides where he wants to go, there's always a little bit of hope. But also, I was thinking of the other reason why I was pissed with LeBron James, and I talked about this with ZB one day, was they were paired up, LBJ, D Wade, and Bosh. They get to the NBA Finals and they play Dallas. And if you remember, LeBron James sucked it up that whole series.
Ghost.
And D Wade went crazy. I mean, defensively, like slapping everybody's shot out of the gym, making all these hard shots. And I felt right there, I was like, man, LeBron, you're supposed to be the greatest player to play the game at the time. And you're not even helping your boys out. And D Wade's putting it all out there. And that was another reason why I felt betrayed. I was like, oh, look, LBJ, I was already pissed that you moved from Cleveland, but you're not even helping your guys out, and you had this super team. I had a vent to you for a second.
Like I said, as someone, no, please. It's fun to kind of reminisce, and frankly, on Wednesday, July the 8th at 3:49 p.m., this is the time to reminisce, right? Because give it a couple of weeks, we'll be at Broncos training camp, and away we go, right? Like, this is the time to kind of kick back have some fun and just kind of chit-chat a little bit about the sports world. And look, you want to talk about the heaviest ring of all time. Like, that's probably Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks that year, especially with what they had to go through in the Western Conference just to get to that position. And
So much
LeBron
respect for
falling
Dallas.
short. Yeah, Jason Kidd right on the back nine of his career. Talk about Jason Kidd, a guy that played in a couple NBA Finals with the New Jersey Nets and was never able to get over the hump playing the Lakers and the Spurs, too.
JJ Barea, too, right? Dallas at the time.
Yep.
And JJ's with us now, coaching the Summer League. Small world.
It is a small world. JJ Barea might need to suit up on a vet min with the way this
come
offseason's
on.
going. But,
pull his hamstring.
We'll get back to the LeBron stuff here in just a little bit. But kind of circling back to a conversation that we had yesterday. Right, and there was that awesome story that Seth Wickersham wrote for ESPN.com. By the way, I heard the morning show had Seth on this morning.
Oh, shocker!
Could have just
copying the drive.
Could have used our cuts, but
they didn't like our questions.
The other thing I'm a little sad about is I'm not doing the show Friday. I want to do trivia. I want to redeem myself after the last time. Remember, I think we should have gone like 4-0, bro. And you guys got my head over a couple questions, bro.
Well, that's what happens when you're a
Dante's
newbie.
rolling his eyes, but that's the truth.
I mean, that's what happens when you're a
That's
newbie.
the
You
truth.
don't just get to have the say.
It's trivia. It's a team game, Anilo. What are you like? Oh, I did my job.
Yeah.
We had you on a 10-day
I did.
contract, AP. We had you on a 10-day
Yeah,
contract.
I know.
okay?
I'm not going to get exercised.
Yeah, we don't let David Roddy come in here and just shoot 20 shots a game.
Maybe
Come
you
on
should.
now.
You got to make a name for yourself somehow, right? It's like Voodoo Taylor in Friday Night Lights or something like that. But I will be listening. And I'm going to be Team Drive. I usually always am Team Drive because I do DST and all that kind of stuff. But after I found out the morning show brought on Seth Wickersham, it's like very original, guys. Like Drew and I were texting about that within like an hour of the story coming
AP,
out.
look, welcome to our world. The morning show, they're always trying to copy
I know.
us. Okay, to copy our
Mike
swag.
Evans, this and that,
And
I
if
like
it's not
Mike.
copying us, it's bagging on my boy ZB. All right, they like to mess
it's not
with
right.
ZB. So
It's not right.
Are you surprised?
No, I'm really not. I just thought it was funny. It's like, away we go. All right, let's talk about this Davis Webb situation. And again, like the big theme that I think we took away from the story yesterday that Seth wrote for ESPN.com, just kind of like this big deep dive inside the mind of Sean Payton during the postseason run, is the amount of intensity that Sean brings to the table on a day-to-day basis. I mean, it's not even borderline. Like, it's true obsession.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's the term that I was using yesterday to kind of describe it as like mad scientist-esque, right? This is a guy that eats, sleeps, breathes, everything, bathes football. Like, there's nothing...
Football is on his
like,
mind 24/7.
I feel like sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, like football's my life. Like I love sports, right? But like we don't really we mean that when we say it was Sean, right? At least that's the vibe we got from this story. But how does that kind of reflect now on Davis Webb? Because I think the biggest non-person, well, I guess it is personnel in a certain type of way, but like the biggest non-player addition, and it's not even an addition because he was on the team, but the biggest move rather the Broncos made this offseason outside of Jalen Waddle is promoting Davis Webb to OC. And when you read that story from Seth and you get the idea of just how intense this coach is, how is it going to be when you, for lack of a better phrase, take the baby away from him? You take the car keys out of his hand.
You
Now
talking
he's
about
riding
Sean?
shotgun. Yeah.
Well, I look at it as like if this was Davis Webb's first time being in the building, then I know that it'd be hard, really, really hard for Sean Payton to decide to give up play calling duties because he just doesn't know Davis Webb. But because Davis Webb has been with Sean for, I want to say 3 years now, he's been in the building with him. They're having conversations. Obviously, if you listen or you read that piece, that article, Davis Webb is always talking to Sean Payton, going over some plays, trying to get the green light to run a couple plays here or there. So there's some trust that has been built up over time with Davis Webb. Plus, when it comes to Davis Webb, he's been in that room with Bo Nix. He's been the other side where you have Sean Payton, who's going to coach Bo hard, as we know. Okay, Seth talked about that and how the relationship is really good with Bo and Sean, but Sean's going to coach Bo hard. Well, you need somebody that's going to play that good cop, bad cop. The good cop is Davis Webb at that time. And so for Davis Webb, he was always in the building with Sean, but also always in the building with Bo Nix, picking his brain. So now that you're giving up some play calling duties if you're Sean Payton for Davis Webb, I think you're more comfortable because you know what Davis Webb can do, and you also know that Davis Webb is still going to listen to you and understand that it's still not fully just his team. His offense, I should say.
But like when you take something, when you're no longer doing something that you're frankly have been known for in your NFL career, like that's going to be a little awkward, right? Like there's a little bit of like possessiveness, I would think, with when it comes to play calling. Because remember, before Sean was even a head coach in this league, we're going back, essentially 20 years now to Dallas, and when he was an offensive coach in Philly and some of these other spots. I mean, with the Giants too, but like Dallas is an offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that was his identity.
Like that's what like he was Mike McDaniel before Mike McDaniel, right? Like in a way, like Mike McDaniel now is taking a step back as an offensive play caller for the Los Angeles Chargers, but like it's that he was the hot commodity on the market of like, this is the next guy up, right? Like this is the play call that's going to get this team to the promised land and all that kind of stuff too. And also look about it from the pressure that Davis Webb has on himself now. You've still got Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes in the division. And I understand a lot of people are praying and expecting their downfall. Oh, the Chiefs are done, right? Maybe.
They're always going to be in it.
They're always going to be
in the thick of things.
I think hiring Mike McDaniel is a big get for the Los Angeles Chargers and Justin Herbert. You've got Bo Nix. You've got this offense. You add Jalen Waddle. The Raiders are in their own kind of realm, but point being,
they're the ones that are the odd man out right now.
Like, do you feel better? Like, if you had to like almost power rank the three, like, do you think the Broncos offense will be better than the other two teams in the division?
Most definitely. And the reason to that is you still have Sean Payton there. That's going to have one hand on the wheel. You have Davis Webb, that's a bright mind, that's going to open up the play calls, right? You're going to see a little bit more of aggressiveness downfield, but also in the middle of the field, like we talk about all the time. But also it's going to be, hey, Sean, I want this done when Davis Webb's talking, and Sean's going to be like, hey, well, I want this done as well. So you have two guys working on this to come up with the best game plan possible. And we know, if you read that article, that Sean Payton's in there 24/7, so he's going to make sure everything is detailed and ready to go. And I think you're just going to see more explosive plays. But then it also comes down to the players understanding what needs to be done and going out there and making those plays. That's why having someone like Jalen Waddle is a great addition, because now you can open up the playbook by going downfield vertically. Now for Davis Webb, you can let it rip because you trust Bo Nix, and you have these plays that are kind of developmental plays that need time to develop downfield. So Sean Payton's still going to have some say, but he's also going to let Davis Webb be more creative and bring that new offense to the Denver Broncos.
Okay. I have a question that we'll revisit with you a little bit later on in the program, because while I agree with you and I like the outlook of this Broncos offense with Davis Webb rather calling the plays, I do wonder if the waters start to get a little bit choppy, how Sean handles that situation. Let's hit a quick break, though. When we come back, NFL executives, coaches, and scouts rank the top NFL edge rushers for 2026. We'll tell you where Nick Benito ended up. That's next.
The Avalanche have set their sights on another Stanley Cup. But the biggest move of the offseason might not happen on the ice. What's next for Cale Makar as Colorado builds for the future? All eyes are on a potential contract extension for the franchise defenseman and cornerstone of the Avs organization. How will it get done? And what does it mean for the team's championship window? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Cecil Lammy here from my friend SodaDietAndNutrition.com. They've got a big summer offer. You can get 4 weeks free. Call 866-800-SODA and mention this station, 104.3 The Fan. 866-800-SODA. Mention this station to get 4 weeks free. Their big summer offer going on right now. It's Soda, Diet, and Nutrition. I want you to call up 866-800-SODA. Listen, 5 years ago I lost 60 pounds with soda, and I'm never going back. Why? Because they taught me how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat. And having those tools is amazing for your weight loss journey, because it's about knowing what you need every single day, and then having your own nutritionist, a personalized nutritionist with a personalized plan for you, the dynamic diet for you, custom built for you, so that you can lose weight and you can keep it off. And that's the main thing. 5 years have gone by and those 60 pounds are not coming back. They'll never come back, because I learned how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat, all thanks to Soda. SodaDietNutrition.com. Soda is, say it with me, state of the art.
Hey, Rob Biandino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled about 7,000 cases, over 300 trials. Man, I see so many bad stops on these DUIs. Unlawful arrests, the police putting body cams off. The evidence is sketchy. We got to go get the evidence. We go find those cameras, the stores, the ATMs, the banks. We got the experts to challenge their breath tests, their blood tests. My office has over 100 years experience at this stuff. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com or 720-706-5151.
Hey, it's Phillip Lindsay here. Do you need a new roof, gutters, or exterior needs? Monarch is your one-stop shop, backed by 16 years of experience and over 10,000 satisfied customers. Their in-house insurance team fights for you, and their white glove service means every detail is handled with care. competitive pricing, award-winning craftsmanship, and the only roofer the Denver Broncos chose to endorse. A proud member of Team Dave Logan, make the call to your home team, Monarch Construction and Roofing, the official roofer of the Denver Broncos.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
So this is Todd Whalen. I'm here with Deanna, an Advanced Tax Solutions client. How did Advanced Tax Solutions fix your problem?
They solved the tax years where I had made errors. They filed the years that I was delinquent in, and they helped me make a payment plan with the IRS.
How does it feel now that the problem is fixed?
Amazing. As a matter of fact, we use Advanced Tax every year for our regular filing, and I just have a huge sense of relief knowing that that part of adulting is done for me.
Now, how do you feel about the staff of Advanced Tax Solutions?
The staff have always been kind, considerate, and caring. I feel like I'm the only customer when I'm there.
Any advice for anybody out there listening?
Don't be afraid to ask for help. The people at Advanced Tax will not judge you. They're there to help, and they're there to listen. Reach out before it's too late.
Thank you so much, Deanna. We'd love to help anyone out there listening. It's Advanced Tax Solutions, 303-753-6040.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
KKFN and KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver. Powered by Regen RX. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Two hours down, 2 more to play with. Danilo Piro in for Zach By on The Drive. Hope everyone is doing well out there on your drive home. If that's what you're doing at this time. Whatever you're doing. You're still at the office, you're at the gym, you're on the couch, you're on the app, you're on YouTube, you're on the Sean Ponda YouTube chat. We appreciate you guys.
You're everywhere.
Love that. All right. Good conversation in the first half of the show where we visit LeBron and all that other stuff throughout the course of the program. But here's an interesting one because I think Nick Bonito's a guy that Broncos country obviously is very, very fond of. And I remember the news and the reaction when that contract extension came together last year and kind of the praise that came with it. Nick Bonito is asserted himself as one of the more dynamic pass rushers in the game, right? Like, he's not on that Myles Garrett level yet. He could potentially be. But he is kind of in some rarefied air. Nick Bonito, according to execs, coaches, and scouts, ranked as the number 10 edge rusher in the NFL in 2026, Phil.
All right. For Nick Bonito, that's a great sign, right? Look, these are it's a starting point. So if I'm Nick Bonito, I'm happy that I'm top 10. Now I'm showing the world I can be consistent. I'm showing the world that I can stay consistent for a long time. It's not just about 2 years. It's about your whole career. Myles Garrett is very consistent. You know what you're going to get out of that man every single year. He's healthy. So for Nick Bonito, now it's like, how can I maintain this? I'm going to start fast. We all feel good as athletes the first 5, 6, 7 games. But then once that wall hits, and even for a vet, that wall hits at some point, and you're banged up and you're hurt, but you're still out there. You're taking you're taking the I was gonna say Adderall. It's not Adderall. It's
Advil.
No, it's
smelling salts.
No, the smelling salts come with it. It's stuff that numbs you.
Is it
Cortisol
cortisol or no? Cortisol is I don't even.
Cortisone?
No, those are shots. Toradol.
There you
That's
go.
what,
You
there
got
you
it,
go,
Phil.
man.
Nice.
I've been out the league 5 years now, so Toradol is something that or 4 years. It's something that helps your body and you don't feel anything. But once you get to a point where you're banged up, you got to rely on your technique. You got to rely on certain things because you just don't have the athletic ability like you do at the beginning of the year. And I think for Nick Bonito, that's exactly what happened to him. He started really, really fast. But in order to maintain that, you got to be consistent in what you do. So for Nick Bonito, if you want to crack the top 5, it's about consistency. It's about making plays towards the end of the year, and of course, getting in the playoffs and making plays when you're in the playoffs.
Yeah, Nick Bonito was not on this list last year. Here's what ESPN adds. They say Bonito, the only pass rusher to make his top 10 debut this year, when a close race with Cleveland's Jared Verse for the 10th spot. Excuse me, I can't speak. Starting in 2023, Bonito's sack totals climbed from 8 to 13.5 to 14. Quote, he's got maybe the best get-off in the league, said a high-ranking personnel evaluator with an NFL team. Continuing, they say, serious closing speed. He's on the quarterback as soon as the ball is snapped. Good spin move and excellent lower body flexibility. Bonito's 23.7% pass rush win rate off the edge ranks second in the NFL. Knocks on him include lack of raw power and run game prowess, though Denver believes he has improved in those areas. And just for some context, the other guys that are on this list are obviously all great players. I mean, the top 5, number 1, Myles Garrett, number 2, Micah Parsons, number 3, Will Anderson Jr., number 4, Max Crosby, and number 5, Aiden Hutchinson of the Detroit Lions. But you got Danielle Hunter on here, TJ Watt at 7, Nick Bosa at 8, Brian Burns at 9. Bonito, the only newcomer to this list, Phil, I think says a lot.
It says a lot. And for Nick Bonito, he's getting better every single year. All right, first year had 1.5 sacks. Second year, 8 sacks. Third year, 13.5 sacks. And then last year was 14 sacks. It's like, what can you do this year? How do you get to that next step? That's how you crack the top 5. So it's all about consistency. It's all about understanding what you need to do. Of course, Nick Bonito needed to get better in stopping the run. I do think he did that. I think that he made an emphasis to get better at trying to stop the run, involve himself in stopping the run. He actually forced a fumble against the Buffalo Bills because he was in those plays. And so just going out there, trusting everybody around you, that's how you get better. And then you have to see your partner in crime is Jonathan Cooper. We don't know what's going to happen with the man. And even if he is with the Denver Broncos by the end of this, he's probably going to be suspended for 5 games. So you need somebody like Jonah Ellis to come along and help you out so that you can do your job and you can go get those sacks.
You think Nick Bonito will ever crack, say, the top 5 on this list?
He definitely can.
But will he?
Will he? If he has the same version of himself this year and years to come, he would definitely be on this list. I think he will. I think he's hungry. I think that he has an explosive get-off. I think he's working on his moves. The best is yet to come with this man. And, of course, it comes down to everybody else doing their part. He will become top 5.
26 years old. So if that's going to happen, it's going to happen in the next couple of years. And, look, I agree. I think Nick Bonito has top 5 pass rusher upside in his game. I mean, like look, I'm not – just because you're not on the top 5 right now doesn't mean anything necessarily bad. Like, Nick Bonito is one of the more dynamic pass rushers in the NFL, and the Broncos are lucky to have him, and they hit on him in the draft. Another George Payton sensation, right? But ultimately, like, if he reaches his full form, buckle up with that Broncos defense. Because,
scary.
Look, this is the same kind – I'm not sure if it's the same pool, but it's the same story, like the executives, coaches, players, all that kind of stuff that rank Pat Surtain number 1 when it came to the cornerback rankings. So you've got 2 guys right now in the top 10, in Surtain, who's number 1, and Bonito, who's number 10. If Bonito can raise his floor, man, you're looking at potentially 2 top 5 guys at their respective positions. So, I mean, that's big.
What does Nick Bonito need to do this year to try to attempt to try to crack the top 5 or even become like top 7?
Oh, I think, like you said, it's not slowing down as the season goes along. I think it's adding that run stuffer type of prowess to his game and honestly just upping the sack total. And I know Nick has been up there in the conversation. Like, there was a time where, you were looking at odds on the different books that, like, Nick Bonito's name is in, like, the top few names of Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
You need to be able to sustain that for an entire season. So he's 26 years old. Bonito will turn 27 at the start of this season, September the 26th. We'll see what the future holds for Nick Bonito moving forward this year. All right, let's hit a quick break. We'll stick with the football conversation, but we'll move it to the collegiate ranks where Juju Lewis said something that has me questioning what the heck was happening with the Colorado Buffaloes on offense last year. We'll tell you what it is next.
The Nuggets are making headlines. Payton Watson's contract talks are heating up, while Denver's reportedly exploring a blockbuster run at LeBron James. Can the Nuggets keep their rising young star and add one of the greatest players ever alongside Nikola Jokic? Stay locked in for the latest twists, rumors, and reactions. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. General contractors, are you tired of working with 8 different subs for a single project? Homestrong is the answer. Their crews handle excavation, foundations, waterproofing, crawl spaces, and flat work. Visit buildhomestrong.com. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 303-900-8986. That's 303-900-8986. 303-900-8986.
Most camera installers don't offer a guarantee. Vantage does. It's called Capture or it's free. If a Vantage system misses an incident in a zone they identified during your threat zone analysis, they'll refund the entire install. That's the kind of guarantee a company can stand behind, because your security system is designed around your property first, not pulled off a kit shelf. Invest in real security for your home. Call Vantage at 720-366-7759 or visit VSSIColorado.com today. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop Honda keeps car buying simple. One price, one person, 1 hour means no games, no back and forth, and no dealer handling fees ever. Upfront pricing and one dedicated advisor who handles everything from start to finish. It's straightforward, stress-free, and honestly, the way car buying should have always been. At Shop Honda, the experience is just as good as the vehicle you're driving home. Discover the Shop Honda difference for yourself. Visit Shop Honda today, proud partner of the Dover and Cecil Show.
All new drinks are now at McDonald's, with refreshers like the Strawberry Watermelon Refresher and the Mango Pineapple Refresher with popping boba, to crafted sodas like the Sprite Berry Blast with berry flavors and cold foam. Who knew ice-cold drinks could be so fire? 6 all-new drinks are here. Now at McDonald's.
Refreshers contain caffeine. Hey, it's Zach here. If you're working on your home this summer, lock in a low-interest loan with 5280 Exteriors, as low as 6.99% for 15 years. Get those dream windows, siding, or decking project. Visit 5280exteriors.com. The altitude of quality.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
Oh, let this breathe for a second. It's a top 5 golf cart song for me.
I feel like you need to bring the afro out. Like a 70s song.
Oh, man. The rhythm. That's a summertime song right here, Phil.
Makes you feel like it's like hot
Outside
outside.
the way, I'm like, grill on the golf course, whole 9. You know, crack open a beverage. All right, Danilo Piro in for Zach By alongside my main man, Phillip Lindsay. By the way, Dante, if you like this kind of music, you'll like the Grateful Dead. So Dante, after the show yesterday, said, hey, send me some of your favorite Dead tunes. I'm trying to get into them. So I sent him a little list today. Yeah, if you're into this kind of stuff, you'll get in. You'll get into the Dead.
No, I think I'm gonna like it. I just found their song "Ripple." I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
That's where you're gonna start, is Ripple?
Is that not a good one? I don't know.
No. It's
If you want good songs, I mean, the guy right next to you, Drew. I mean, the dude loves music.
Yeah, it was more because Anilo was wearing a Grateful Dead hat yesterday, and I was like, you know what? I just found this one song by them, and I'm kind of dipping into that genre of music, so I wanted to hear some recommendations.
Classic for me, by the way, to wear red, white, and blue the day after the United States gets eliminated from the World Cup. I'm wearing like black the day of the game, and it's just like, what am I doing? But yeah, Ripple. The reason I laugh at that is because like that's like a legendary song in Grateful Dead lore. But like they themselves didn't play it a lot live, like when Jerry was around. But Dead and Company like kind of beat it into the ground a little bit. But yeah, it's a very special song.
Okay, yeah, I was a fan from what I heard, so I was like, you know what? I need to hear some more of this.
I'm a broke down Palace guy myself when it comes to the ballad or the slower songs. But yeah, if you like Steely Dan, you like that kind of vibe, man, I think you'll like the Grateful Dead. Shout out all my Deadheads. I am a bit sad you never got to see Dead and Company though. I used to see Dead and Company at your old building out there at Folsom Field. They used to play like every summer. It was time of my life. But rest in peace, Bob Weir. Rest in peace, Jerry Garcia. Okay, speaking of Folsom Field, though, it's actually a pretty decent bridge. Yesterday, Big 12 Media Day, not a whole lot necessarily from Deion Sanders, kind of more of the same, what we're used to hearing from Prime at this point. But the big story that kind of came out, I didn't realize this until after you and I got off the air last night, Phil. I'm like, sitting at home. I got the dog on the couch. I'm like, eating my dinner, having a good time, and like
drinking a little wine.
And maybe not a little wine. I was so thirsty yesterday. I was just chugging water left and right. I can't even lie. But this comes across the timeline. It's Julian Lewis. And I'm like, okay, like this big engagement, big numbers, likes, retweets, questions. Julian Lewis about the state of Colorado's offense last year and why he's more confident about them moving forward this year. Here's what he had to say.
My play, I'm actually looking at the defenses now. Last year we wasn't really looking at defenses as much, just kind of high school free ball and just out there playing football. But, it's a lot bigger than that now, so it should be fun.
Basically admits that the Buffs had no plan or semblance of a plan on offense, right? Going out there playing backyard football, high school football. Yeah, free balling, which is an interesting choice of words. That's not what I think of.
Free balling.
Yeah, when I hear that terminology. But
I know it's free balling.
I mean, just like, and I know you kind of said like, hey, for you weren't able to like dissect defenses until a little bit later on in your collegiate career.
Juju is 19 years old, 18 years old.
But to see that you're playing backyard football with Coach Prime and the expectations of CU, that's crazy. Especially, and again, I'm a Coach Prime guy. I've been pumped up with him since the moment he was here. But like Coach Prime loves to go on about this coaching staff and this and these players and what we're going to accomplish. And then when you hear that out of the mouth of the quarterback about like we're just kind of throwing the football around, back of the pigskin. Okay, you're running the quick slant. You're going to run the curl. You're going to run the hook and ladder.
But
it's
also,
not a good look, Phil.
It's definitely not a good look. And one thing is, we all know that Coach Prime was dealing with cancer. So I don't think he was all there. Actually, I know he wasn't all there. And that's why he was relying more on Schumer to do his part. Pat Schumer, who used to be the OC for Colorado. But also when it comes to Juju, there's a reason why Juju wasn't playing right off the bat. Because Juju is young. He doesn't know how to read defenses. So even if you put it out there for him and you say, hey, this is what you're reading and this is who you need to read, it's still going to take time to dissect and adjust to this game. Now, do I think that Pat Schumer did any favors for Juju? No, he did not. Or for Caden Salter? No. But now for Juju, the next step is to get it with Brendan Marion, to understand what he needs to do, to understand what he's looking at. Because even myself, I had to sit down with a guy and actually have him coach me up on, okay, what am I looking at here? What is a cover 3 actually? All right, and how are they going to disguise it so that I know I can pick up this blitz? Right? It takes time to learn how to do that, and I think that's what Juju's trying to get across. Yes, like it wasn't good, and they probably weren't learning like they needed to, but also with Juju, it's like, hey, now I'm starting to understand what I need to do out there to be more successful.
But it feels like there's no foundation to build off of. Like, it feels like the foundation, like, what's the old saying? Like, experience is the best teacher. And I guess, like, any sort of experience is good experience, especially when it comes to playing the quarterback position. But it wasn't like, it's not like math, right? Or like something in school where it's like you're the lesson plan and this and that, and you study and you study and you study. Like, it feels like it was a bit of improv last year for Julian Lewis. And I think back, I forget exactly which matchup it was, but it would have been early in the season because Caden Salter was still the starting quarterback, and I believe it was at Folsom Field. And the highlight came across my timeline last night, too, of, like, Caden, hands on the helmet, getting the play call in the earplug.
Was it BYU? Could it have been BYU?
Honestly, that's not important, whatever game it was. But, like, Caden kind of gets the play call, and he's like, huh? It's kind of like how I look at you when you're talking about LeBron not helping the Nuggets to win a championship.
That's cute.
Like, I'm like,
that's
what
cute.
I'm like, what are we talking about here? Right? And, like, that's kind of the vibe we were getting from Caden Salter, and I think it just goes to show, like, how – I don't even know – like, could you be broken if you were never whole? It's kind of a deep thought. Like, right? But, like, it feels like this Buffs offense was never whole.
Yes. I mean, the Buffs offense last year had no identity. They weren't good. They didn't know how to run the ball. Caden Salter was not a good quarterback, let's be honest. And Juju was just too damn young. And now that he's had like a baby year under his belt because he didn't play all year, but he understands like, hey, if the game is faster, I had a little bit of success here or there, and I can build off of that. And having Brendan Marion as the new OC, I think there is going to be a foundation built now. There will be a foundation built. And it's going to be built on running the ball first, helping develop the play action, and now Juju can read a defense a little bit better, and it'll be more clear for him. It just takes time, man, to understand and read. So, yes, Juju, he was being real and saying that he didn't learn a lot from Pat Schumer, but also Shermer. But
Attaboy,
also,
you got yourself.
Yeah, I have to call him that, man, because he pisses me off all the time. My man gave up on me. And
gave up on you. He's
he
like
did,
Andy in Toy Story too. Like, I don't want to play with you anymore.
It was between
You're
me or
broken.
Melvin Gordon. He decided to go with Melvin Gordon,
Well,
man. So, but Pat, but also like to go back with Colorado, like there was no identity. So Juju being with the new OC, I think there's going to be a different identity. It's going to be running the ball, playing action, and being able to let it rip a couple times.
Okay, I like it. Ultimately, we'll see what the future holds for the Colorado Buffaloes offense. I think Brennan Marion is going to be a very welcomed addition to this Buffs offense, calling plays and starting the go-go offense. And, they probably, hopefully can't be much worse than they were last year. That's kind of my big takeaway from it. Let's hit a break, though. When we come back, we'll continue along with the football conversation. We told you about where Nick Bonito ranked among pass rushers, but who does ESPN think will be the Broncos' breakout player? We'll tell you who that is next.
The wait is almost over, Broncos country.
And I like football!
Training camp is right around the corner, and all eyes are on Bo Nix as Denver looks to take the next step in year 3 under Sean Payton. Can the Broncos build on last season's momentum? Who will emerge in key position battles? And are the Broncos ready to become a true contender in the AFC? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. On behalf of my friends at American Financing, what if next month looked different? What if instead of robbing Peter to pay Paul, you had one clear payment and money left over for the things that actually matter? If you're a homeowner, that's not a fantasy. American Financing is making it happen. They're not going to judge you. They're here to help you. Everything is more expensive right now, and you're spending more on the basics than ever before. American Financing's salary-based mortgage consultants will give your paycheck a raise by lowering your debt obligations. Their average customer savings is $800 a month, and you may delay 2 mortgage payments, and you may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there's no upfront fees. There's no obligation. We all want to live without stress. Your home's equity could help you do this. So call them at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or visit them online at americanfinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
This July is America's 250th birthday, and Low T Center is celebrating 250 years of freedom with our 250 for 250 deal. All month long, men who start testosterone therapy and stay with it for 90 days earn $250. So if you're over 40 with low energy, sex drive, not feeling yourself, don't stay that way. Low T Center is raising the T of American patriots from sea to shining sea. Come celebrate 250 years of America with Low T Center's 250 for 250 deal, because bringing back energy and vitality of your youth is worth celebrating. Go to fixmylowt.com to book a free T test. That's fixmylowt.com. Offer ends July 31st. Terms and conditions apply.
It's home selling season. And what's the biggest mistake you can make when selling your home? Settling for less money. That never happens with Orchard. Low ball offers can wear you down, causing you to settle for thousands less. You don't have to settle when you sell with an Orchard agent. Orchard reinvented the real estate industry by guaranteeing your home sale. Their local agents help you sell on market for top dollar. First, Orchard gives you cash up front to buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then, once you're settled in, your Orchard agent helps you sell your home on market for top dollar. Here's what one customer said. I went under contract within 24 hours of my home listing, which was amazing. With Orchard, you never have to settle for less. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Curious how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's orchard.com.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here. If you've listened to me the past few years, you know I love golfing. And the courses I keep playing are Aurora's 5 public courses. Spring Hill is one of the best hidden gems around, perfect for becoming a short game chef. And Saddle Rock, well, the mountain views never get old. Beautiful course conditions, great service, and the restaurants keep me coming back. Book your next tee time or learn more about lessons, leagues, and programs at golfaurora.com. And go ahead and follow them on Instagram at golfaurora.co.
Summer should be a time of joy for children, but Wish kids often miss out due to their illness, creating a dark chapter during a time that should be filled with sunshine and memories. A wish from Make-A-Wish Colorado can change everything for these children, giving them the strength and hope they need to persevere in their fight against critical illness. My name is Carrie Fletcher. I'm part of the Alpine Bank family, member FDIC. Today, Alpine Bank hopes you'll decide to make a life-changing impact in the life of Colorado Wish kids by supporting Make-A-Wish Colorado. There are currently more than 450 Colorado kids with critical illnesses who are waiting for a life-changing wish, and 110 more kids will be diagnosed this summer. You can help make their wishes come true. Visit wish.org/Colorado to help Make-A-Wish Colorado grant some memorable wishes this summer.
Denver Deck Builders is a family-run business through and through. Owner Ron Gibbous gets the privilege of working with his sons. Great for him, great for their family.
It has built our family relationships. I did it to work with my sons. When I started the business, I had a full-time job already, working 4 on, 4 off, and the 4 days off, I wanted to be with my boys. I wanted to teach them how to work. I wanted to spend time with them. I wanted to build our relationships, and it has totally done that.
Start planning your family's outdoor living space with Denver Deck Builders. Go to ddbonthefan.com.
Robbie Dino here at BeatTheDA.com. I've handled over 7,000 cases, 300 trials. Let's face it, divorce is really impactful. You may have a controlling spouse. You may have a violent spouse. You may have been a victim of a domestic violence. You may be wrongfully accused of domestic violence. This all affects parenting rights. And let's face it, the kids are the most important. These are the things that need to be handled. They need to be handled appropriately by someone that's going to protect your kids and protect your rights. Hit me up at BeatTheDA.com, 720-706-5151.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is midfielder. MIDFIELDER. Text midfielder to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's midfielder to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Rolling along here on the drive, Danilo Piro, Phillip Lindsay, Dante Gomez, Drew Spivak. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. It's been a fun last couple of days hanging out with Phil. And let's keep the conversation going.
Let's keep it going, AP. Let's
keep
it going.
ESPN has listed their breakout candidates for each NFL team in the Big 2-6. For the Denver Broncos, they chose an interesting one. Ioma Uwazurike, the defensive lineman. And we all know Uwazurike dealt with the suspension a couple of years ago due to a gambling-related situation. I think it makes a lot of sense to go with Uwazurike, and I'll read you here what they say in the story. A lot of this has to do with the departure of Jonathan Franklin Myers from the Denver Broncos, but they say, of the rotational players who impressed last season, the first one I'd be trying to get more snaps to is Uwazurike. He had a resurgent 2025 after a 2023 season-long suspension for gambling through a massive halt in his developmental arc. More of a true defensive tackle than Franklin Myers, Uwazurike has a mean bull rush and a hot motor that helps make him clean up plays in muddy pockets. He can do a lot of the dirty work that made Franklin Myers such a valuable part of the Broncos' rotation. You buy in what they're selling here with Uwazurike? Is he the best candidate, in your opinion, to be a breakout star?
You know, I'm not going to say he's the best candidate, but I understand why he needs to be a breakout star. And it's going to be a big shoes to fill with John Franklin Myers moving on to the Tennessee Titans and taking on a big old bag, $60 million. I think it was more than $60 million for John Franklin Myers. So for Wazirike, he needs to step up. Last year, he had 3.5 sacks, 23 tackles altogether, and now he's going to get more opportunities, more time on the field. I love when Wazirike is in the game because he is a run stopper. He's stuffing up the run. All right, he's stuffing those gaps, making it hard for a running back to run through those holes, those lanes. And that's something that the Denver Broncos, they struggle with at the end of the year, and especially in the playoffs when they were playing the Bills, and James Cook was doing whatever he wanted to the Denver Broncos. So Wazirike needs to be that guy that can come in. I'm not looking for him to have 7 sacks because that's not who he is. 3.5, 4 sacks, but stopping the run, forcing teams to have to throw the ball more than they did last year.
Yeah, I like that. And I think Wazirike also finds himself in a position to succeed, Phil, because of the departure of Jonathan Franklin Myers, right? And let's be honest here, the looming questions about Jonathan Cooper's status and availability with the franchise. I mean, there's an opportunity that if Jonathan Cooper, do we think Jonathan Cooper's playing all 18 games?
No,
he's probably not,
probably
right?
not.
Assuming he is back with the Broncos, though you would think be some time away from the team during the regular season if he's back with the Broncos at all. So, look, you have the natural void and the opportunity to fill the hole that Jonathan Franklin Myers has left. But also, if you take Jonathan Cooper out of the mix, whether it's for a game, a handful of games, or an entire season, that means only good things for Wazirike. But I don't think Wazirike is the only guy that has an opportunity to break out on the defensive line. You could look at Red Murdoch. You could see what happens with Jonah Ellis and what they try to do there. Q Robinson, another name on that defensive line. I think Wazirike has a great chance, but I think so do these other guys.
Yeah, but with Wazirike, you're getting a guy who's been around, that he's been in bigger games, that you can trust because he's been in the system. Now he's getting more opportunities. Now he's feeding off of someone like Zach Allen. All right, now he's more comfortable knowing that I don't have to worry about John Franklin Myers. Now, of course, he's going to have to look behind him and say, okay, there's a couple of young bucks that are trying to get more opportunities, but it's going to be good for Wazirike to take that next step. And how you do that? You have to have more time on task, right? You have to have more time on that football field, get more comfortable being around guys like Jonathan Cooper when he's back, Nick Bonito, Zach Allen, and just meshing well with them.
Phil, is it interesting Jahdae Barron isn't the name? Because we know that Riley Moss has the other side of the field.
Yeah.
You know, we would think he's the presumed starter. But the Jahdae Barron pick, I've heard everyone on this station talk about it. I'm sure I've shared my thoughts at some point or the other. If I haven't, here you go. Still blows my mind. Still confuses me to this day. And I understand Jahdae Barron coming out of college, right? Won the Jim Thorpe Award.
Yeah, he was a great
over
cornerback.
Travis Hunter.
Texas, hook him.
Right? Exactly. And so you would think, and it's funny because we talked about this a little bit earlier in the show, and you were guessing about Jonah Coleman.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I didn't think about that till now. Like, Jahdae Barron didn't even cross our minds.
Well, honestly, AP, he crossed my mind, and that was going to be the guy that if you asked me before he was Wazirike, other than Jonah Coleman, like, who else?
But don't you think as a first-round pick at
I don't know.
cornerback-
I'm with you. Like, he should have been, Jahdae Barron, that is, should have been the guy that's saying he needs a breakout year.
And I hate to put Jahdae Barron in this.
Why?
Because I feel like, to a certain extent, drafting him to Denver was, look, I mean, obviously he's happy to be here, and the expectation's different for him than it would have been a tight end.
Well, here's the thing.
Or a running back.
The Denver Broncos decided to draft him because Sean Payton thought he was the crystal, and Sean Payton made it clear that he's not passing on a crystal for a blender. In this case, they thought Jahdae Barron was that guy.
Right.
They did not look at Jaquan McMillan at the time because if we remember right, Jaquan McMillan struggled in that year. They were looking to replace Jaquan McMillan. So they went for a guy like Jahdae Barron that they can move the nickel at the beginning and maybe move him to the outside later on. But that wasn't what happened because of what Jaquan McMillan did, where it's like, hey, look, I'm not giving up my spot. But you are right. And I would have went with Jahdae Barron. Jahdae Barron is under the most pressure because you are a first-round draft pick. All right, Sean Payton George did think highly of you. You didn't get a bunch of snaps. I think you had 30% of the snaps last year with the defense. You played a lot of dime. And what dime is, guys, is it's an extra DB on the field, which you're not going to run all the time because if you have to stop the run, you're going to put an extra big boy or a linebacker on the field. When you're passing a lot or trying to stop the pass, you'll put the dime package on the field. So for Jahdae Barron, it's time for him to show why he was a first-round draft pick. It's time for him to show why the Denver Broncos decided to pass up on a running back and go with him, this Crystal. So this is going to be a big-time competition with J-Mac because, let's be real, right now J-Mac is not on that big-time contract. He does not have security. Why is that?
But they like him.
They like him, but they don't like him enough to pay him because they're still waiting on Jahdae Barron. Now, if Jahdae Barron doesn't beat out Jaquan McMillan in camp, I can see Jaquan McMillan getting a deal done. And now they're like, hey, what do we do with Jahdae Barron? Who knows? So this is going to be a big-time battle in camp between Jaquan McMillan and Jahdae Barron.
Woo! Look, if we're spitting hot fire there is Phillip Lindsay. You love to see it. But there's a lot of pressure on Jahdae Barron, man. And ultimately, like, if we're just looking at his rookie season kind of in a micro, and I know it's probably unfair to do, but we got to do it. Seems like a missed pick right now, especially knowing that you still have Riley Moss for this year, and Jaquan McMillan is starting to blossom a bit in our eyes. And, you know, you carry that first-round kind of tag, and there's expectations that kind of come with it. So we'll see. Again, ESPN picking Uyoma Uwazurike as their breakout candidate for the Denver Broncos in 2026. Phil and I think Jonah Coleman has an opportunity to do that as well. But interesting that Jahdae Barron is not mentioned in the story and is not top of mind for Phil and I as well. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we'll go to the hardwood, an update on the LeBron James sweepstakes, some news in Nuggets land, and also the 1-year anniversary of a trade. How do we feel about that trade with hindsight? That's next.
With the MLB trade deadline fast approaching, Houston is reportedly showing strong interest in Colorado outfielders Jake McCarthy and Mickey Moniak. Could two of the Rockies' hottest bats be on the move? And who else could be shipped out to rebuild the club? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Hey, it's Zach here. Are you seeing cracks in your home's drywall or foundation? Call Homestrong. Their highly qualified technicians provide free inspections and quotes. With 20-plus years experience in the foundation repair and concrete industry, one thing is certain. You'll never go wrong with Homestrong.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Save 25 to 45% on thousands of 3 to 8-year-old shade and flowering trees. Choose from honey locust, linden, maple, oak, flowering crabapple, serviceberry, willow, and more. And save big on thousands of shrubs and perennials. The Array of Tree Sale. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
All right, Broncos country, listen up. Phillip Lindsay here. And for stress-free summer travel, I chose Hermes Worldwide. Forget the airport chaos. Hermes Worldwide offers comfortable, reliable transportation for your airport transfers and more. They're dependable, they're professional, so you can focus on your vacation. Make your summer travel easy. Give them a call today at 303-577-7600, or you can visit them online at ridehermes.com/DenverSports. Again, that's ridehermes.com/DenverSports to book your next ride today.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 720-440-7900 or go to RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com. Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
Hey guys, your boy Stink here, and if you're a guy over 50 dealing with an enlarged prostate, you need to know about PAE, prostate artery embolization. It's minimally invasive, done through a tiny pinhole, and you're back home the same day. Most men who have PAE don't experience any sexual side effects associated with conventional prostate surgery. At Colorado Advanced Endovascular, their experienced team offers specialized prostate treatments with near zero impact on sexual function. Top-tier radiologists, boutique setting, personalized care in Lakewood. Go to coloradoae.com.
Skip this year's front porch roofing circus and bring in the local professionals.
Visit us at DenverRoofPros.com.
No matter if it hails, rains, or snows, nobody knows your roof like the Denver Roof Pros.
Hey, it's Mike Evans with all these Bluebird days in Colorado. Enjoy the view through energy-efficient windows from Bluebird Windows and Doors. Through July, it's their Buy More, Save More event. Save up to 20% on your window and door projects. And when you mention you heard it from me, you'll save an extra 5%. Bluebird's family-owned, serving the Front Range for over a decade with windows, doors, and siding built for Colorado's harsh climate. Financing is available. Visit gobluebirdco.com. Bluebird Windows and Doors. Make today a Bluebird day.
When Vantage walks your property for a threat zone analysis, they don't send a salesman. They send a security pro with years of experience designing and installing these systems. The same pro who walks your property, designs your system, installs your cameras, and picks up the phone 3 years later when you need them. Same team, start to finish. That's the Vantage standard. Invest in real security for your home. Call Vantage at 720-366-7759 or visit VSSIColorado.com today.
It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
One Wheel Broncos talk. Cecil Lammy and Andrew Mason bring the heat on Orange and Blue today. The most passionate intelligence and in-depth Broncos coverage in the game. Weekdays at 5 p.m. on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan YouTube channel. Hit subscribe at Denver Sports 104.3 and never miss another take. Orange and Blue today, powered by Ramos Law, official injury law firm partner of the Denver Broncos. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
All right, here we go. Anilo Piro in for Zach By alongside my guy, Phillip Lindsay. Appreciate you guys interacting with us on the RamosLaw.com text line as well as the Champ Honda.
They're being nice to us today, AP.
YouTube chat. Yeah, they are being nice to us.
Good. Good. That's because you're here.
Oh,
it was
okay.
me and
Wow,
Z.
so,
They be calling us all kind of names.
So kind, Phil. I feel like we haven't really bickered too much on any of these topics today. We're about to because we're going to talk about LeBron and the Nuggets.
You just came to your senses. You're like, look, Phil's right. I'm wrong. We'll move on.
I don't know about that. I mean, I don't know how I could possibly be wrong when I'm trying to justify Nikola Jokic putting off a contract extension because it'll only make him the highest paid player in NBA history.
You want to start? You want to go down that?
Yeah, I do. I need a little
huh?
spice in my life, bro. It's been a little too nice today.
No,
give me something.
No, I'm not trying to play dirty with you today. No, I mean, look.
I'm playing.
Two things can be true, right? Like ZB likes to say it like you do. Like
Phillip By over here.
Hey, you want to make as much money as possible doing your sport, but also you want it to make sense when it comes to your legacy and want to make sure that that's taken care of too. Because the thing, once you have money, it's about building on that legacy and winning as many championships as you can if you can do it. It's hard to do.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And it's interesting, right? And the other news that I feel like we should mention here right off the rip is came out probably about an hour or so ago. Jonas Valanciunas officially being waived by the Denver Nuggets. It'll allow them some flexibility.
How much did they save? $8
million because they still owe him $2 million, but they could actually end up saving a little bit more per year because they can stretch that $2 million out over a few years.
Which they'll probably do, right?
Yeah, and like I said, this is not a surprising move, right? Because the moment you signed Marvin Bagley,
the writing's on the wall and this and that. But, like, I mean, how do you look back at Jonas Valanciunas' 1 year with the Nuggets, right? Because it at least to me, Phil, it felt like there was a lot left on the table.
Oh, yes, very much so. I mean, when we signed JV, I'm like, okay, we got the best big man backup that we can have for Jokic, and that it's going to help Jokic stay healthier. He's going to be fresh. JV's going to be able to bring some points to the table. We know that he's not great at defense, but we know that he'll be able to be physical, which he was. But when you needed him, right, we need him for the postseason. He wasn't a guy that you could count on because he was so slow. Now, he can be physical. He could try to get the rebounds, but he wasn't getting the points as well. I mean, in the playoffs, I want to say that JV played in 4 games, 4 playoff appearances with the Denver Nuggets, played 20 minutes in those 4 games altogether, and had 11 points. I'm looking for my big man, my backup big man, to come in, play some more minutes to help someone like Jokic out.
Yeah, I hear you, but, like, after the first turn of games in the regular season, I mean, it felt like the Jonas Valanciunas experiment was over for David Adelman, right? Like, it's kind of hard to get going, and maybe it's not an apples-to-apples comparison, but I think about what J.K. Dobbins said. I know it's a cross-sport thought here, but, like, J.K. Dobbins was on the record last year, I'm a running back that gets better with more touches.
Yeah,
right.
That's the case.
Right, I get better as the game goes along. Like, Jonas Valanciunas was, like, in and out of the lineup, like, relegated to the end of the bench, like, called on in sporadic spurts when Jokic is hurt, right? Like,
so do you not think that the Nuggets use him in the right ways? Do you think that?
I do not think they use him in the right way. And again, for me, the issue with the Nuggets, all roads lead back to one man.
Here we
all
go.
Roads.
It's just David Adelman.
Not just, but that's the starting point for me.
Well, there were games where JV was in the game and he wasn't good enough. He was actually hurting the team.
Sure.
And I think it's because of his play, his style. He doesn't play defense. And even when you need him to score points, it's not like he's just the greatest when it comes to scoring points. And so if you are David Adelman,
I thought offense wasn't the problem.
Offense wasn't the problem, but
so
you
why
also,
are you talking about offense?
Because you still need your big man to go in there and give you some points because Jokic is not in the game.
But you know what concerns me as well about the Nuggets entering into next year, not just without Jonas Valanciunas, but also Tim Hardaway Jr.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I think plagued the Nuggets, before the championship, and then obviously in the seasons after the championship, that I feel like wasn't talked about as much this year because of these two guys, the non-Jokic minutes. Right, like the non-Jokic minutes, like that used to be the kryptonite for this Nuggets team. It's like Jokic comes out of the game, the lead, dwindles from double digits to single digits, and away we go. Like that was still somewhat of an issue, but it felt like in this past season, it wasn't quite as big of an issue as it had been in years past. Just like the dreaded third quarter, right? Nug life, third quarter, out of half, stumbling over themselves left and right. It felt like they were able to clean up some of those issues, which is what's so darn frustrating, Phil, about the Nuggets this last season, because it felt like the bench was better, right? Like Bruce Brown,
Tim Hardaway Jr., Bruce Brown,
right.
JV, like it was better.
And Jonas Valanciunas, talent-wise, I know it didn't add up to this, and maybe it even did to a certain extent, is the best backup center they've probably had in the Nikola Jokic era. That crown probably, from an impact perspective, still belongs to Mason Plumlee. You also had Isaiah Hartenstein for a cup of coffee, and you made absolutely nothing happen with that. And now it's like you're going to Marvin Bagley, who's like a defunct number 2 overall pick.
But he's athletic. He's rangy. He's long. You look at him as a guy that's going to give you a bunch of rebounds and play, guess what? Better defense. That's what you're looking at it as, because you're right, AP. Offense wasn't our issue. It was defense. I think that's why they're going with him, because JV couldn't give that to them. All right, not only did JV not play good defense, when you needed him in the playoffs, he was unplayable at times. And that's why even against backups, he wasn't able to play. So, although JV was a good teammate, he couldn't find his footing here in Denver. And so now he has to leave, which I'm fine with. We all expected this, right? You thought this was going to happen as well. Where it's like, if you're not going to use JV, then why have him on the team? He wants $10 million. He's owed $10 million. You get rid of him. All right, you save 8, you give him 2. So
but here's the other thing.
The rest out.
And here's the other thing, because like I said, I'm not the biggest David Adelman believer. Like, I think DA is fine, truly. Like, I know sometimes I say
I don't think he's good enough to be
I agree.
The Nuggets head
coach.
I
think David Adelman could be a good head coach in this league. Go coach Brooklyn.
Yeah, not here.
Like, go coach.
Window, Jokic's prime. Like, he doesn't do enough, right? When you come to, like, X's and O's, he's supposed to be this guy, and there's a lot of times where you're looking at, like, why didn't David Adelman draw this play up, or what happened in this one, or why don't you call the timeout? There was too many things happening where it's like, DA, why are you not doing something about it?
Right. Go coach in Washington, right? Like, Jordy Fernandez went to Brooklyn. We just saw Mike Inori, a former Nugget assistant, go to Portland. Here's the question. And I think it's kind of the litmus test. I'm curious, Dante, would you welcome David Adelman as head coach in Phoenix?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that for a second?
Would you be okay if David Adelman was your head coach of your Phoenix Suns?
Gosh, no. I wish I could use a cuss word at the beginning of that, but no.
Right.
We got Jordan Ott. We're good down in Phoenix. We got a good first-time head
And
coach.
I don't even mean this as like a jab towards Phoenix, and I think they're going to be okay once they kind of rebuild this organization.
Phoenix is going to be tough,
And they
bro.
were surprising last year. Yes, they were, 100%. But it's like, if David Adelman from a diehard Phoenix Suns fan is not good enough for that team, what makes you think he's good enough for a team led by Nikola Jokic?
He's not, and that's why it's a head scratcher of why Josh Kroenke decided to go down that road and hire someone like David Adelman, and then hire Ben Tinzer and John Wall as two guys that have never done the job before. It's a lot there, a lot of first-year
imagine if the Los
guys.
Angeles Rams did that. And look, the LA fan base is nothing. Having spent some time out there in my childhood, like look, the LA sports fan outside of the Lakers and the Dodgers, even those fan bases could be a little wishy-washy, to be completely honest with you. Like, there would not be there's more outrage about the Nuggets and how that situation is handled than most of the teams out there in LA. Like I said, the Lakers and Dodgers are a little bit different, but like if the Rams don't carry near the same amount of weight in their market as, say, the Nuggets do here. But, like, you look at the Rams, and I think it's fair. You look at Arsenal, who I'm not as familiar with, but you're talking about a club that is, dominating and one of the best teams in the Premier League. Like, what if the Rams fired Sean McVay and brought in, like, I don't know, Pat Shurmur?
No, people will be upset.
Right? Like, and I know Shurmur's been a coach, right?
Don't
But
disrespect
what's
McVay like that.
No,
Come
I'm not
on now.
trying to, but like, what's the equivalent, right? Like, what's the equivalent? Like, McVay has one Super Bowl win, Malone had one championship. Now, I think McVay is a much better football coach than Malone was a basketball coach, but I think Malone is a really good basketball coach as well. Like, who's a first-time head? Like, I don't know what their roster is. Like, honestly, like, I don't know. But point being is, like, imagine, like, you have a Sean McVay, right? A guy who's been there, done that, taking you to the mountaintop. You can't in for a guy that doesn't know what he's doing. And you've got Myles Garrett. And you've got Matt Stafford.
Yeah, you're not going to place
right?
Myles
Puka.
Garrett and Matt Stafford and Puka with someone like David Adelman. I agree with that. But tell me this, because you want to blame, it seems like you want to blame JV's play on David Adelman. Because that can't happen. No, JV wasn't good enough. That's why he wasn't playing. He didn't show enough to play every single night. That's why he wasn't playing. It wasn't like, hey, let's just keep you out there, because the reason why he's sitting there on the bench is because he couldn't do it when he was on the court. He would have moments. Don't get me wrong. He would have moments, but he wasn't consistent enough, especially when Jokic was hurt. That was your time to shine, and you did not shine. But yet, AP, you want to blame David Adelman for what JV did not do? Crazy. That's crazy work.
I mean,
crazy work.
Do you think Jonas Valanciunas was put in a position to succeed consistently?
Yeah, he had opportunities. He did. Jokic was hurt. Jokic was hurt for a month. All right, even when Jokic was back, he was still playing some games. But he did not do his part, which is, hey, put some points on the board, but also play some defense and get the rebounds. Of course, give us a couple fouls, which JV was going to do for you, but it was just not enough. And that's not on David Adelman. That's on the player on that point.
Yeah, look, I hear you. I mean, he averaged 8.7 points, 5.1 rebounds per game last year for the Denver Nuggets, shot 58% from the field. I just feel like there was a lot left on the table with Jonas Valanciunas, right? And that comes down to me of coaching scheme and fit.
No, that comes down to Jonas not wanting to be here. And that's exactly why he's not here, too. He didn't want to.
I thought Jonas, when he was Phil,
Jonas didn't want to be here. At one point, he was like, I'm debating whether to go back to Europe and play or sign to Denver. This is when Denver gave him an offer or picked him up.
Phil, being down there, covering this team in the flesh, talking to Jonas like I'm talking to you right now.
Right.
The guy was bought in.
So that was fake news?
No, before. The point I'm trying to make is once he got here, that was out the door. There was an understanding here's what I wanted before the season, before this trade, after this trade. But the moment he got here, it was go time, right? Like, and I mean, sure, he could have been better. Absolutely, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But I still just don't think like Jonas Valanciunas was set up for complete success.
It seems like a guy that Jonas was good to you, and you want to make sure you protect Jonas. You don't have to protect him anymore. He's gone.
I thought you're the player protector.
I usually am, but when they need to be protected. Jonas wasn't good enough. They cut him.
So what happens if Jonas goes to the Lakers and hoops this year?
He's not going to hoop.
You want to make that bet too? You owe me
Yes,
$359
he is not. He is going back to
from
Europe.
yesterday.
He is going back to. No, we don't. We still got to make that bet.
Yeah.
He is not going to hoop with the Lakers. He is going back home, being closer to his home
All right,
with
bro.
his family. That's
Believe your
exactly what he's
headlines,
gonna
bro.
do.
Believe your headlines. That's the fake news, bro.
Okay,
No,
we're
I'm
gonna
playing.
see.
I'm just giving you some lip. No, it's fine. Ultimately, we'll see what happens with Jonas Valanciunas, man. We really will. It's unfortunate because he should have been. I think we can both agree with this. He should have been much better.
Yes.
He should absolutely have played a larger role, and I think he played his role fine. But I think especially part of the reason they were able to bring in Jonas Valanciunas in the first place is because of the money they saved when they traded Michael Porter Jr.
That was the reason why you trade Michael Porter
Right?
Jr.
And we're going to talk about that trade here in just a minute. But, gosh, it just looks worse and worse as the days go by. And they say history's the best teacher, right? And ultimately we'll see what the Nuggets are going to be able to learn from that trade and apply it to this offseason, which has been a snooze fest so far. But, when you look at Jonas Valanciunas and you look at this offseason, right, the Nuggets haven't done anything to surprise us yet. And let's not hold our breath for LeBron James. As much as I want LeBron James here, as a guy who's been wishy-washy at best on LeBron from a fandom perspective, I'd put it at 5% right now.
But
that
maybe
LeBron
that's
comes
why
in.
it's so quiet, though, AP. Maybe the Denver Nuggets, organization, they're waiting on LeBron James' decision because you still do have a 5% chance, let's just say. So they're like, hey, that's the plan A, LeBron James. Plan B is we run this thing back. So, if we're going to run it back, let's just wait anyway. Just like the Denver Broncos, right? Everybody was panicking about the Denver Broncos and what are they doing and why are they bringing everybody back? And then all of a sudden, bam! They hit us with a splash trade. And it was Jalen Waddle, my former teammate with the Miami Dolphins. And he comes in the building. And now everybody's sitting here saying, oh, my God, the Denver Broncos made a great move. It took some time. Sometimes we have to be patient. We have to be patient. And I think they are waiting on LeBron James and what he's going to decide to do. And then they're going to run it back.
The one thing you keep forgetting, Phil, is if LeBron James is coming here, he's signing on a vet min. So what are you waiting for?
He's not signing on a vet min. He is not.
Well, then he's not coming. They got, $7 million worth of cap space?
Well, because this is what happens. Is
with
LeBron,
5 roster spots to fill?
LeBron calls. He says, ring, ring, ring. Go ahead, pick up the phone, AP. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, I'm coming. I'm coming, just like Dion, right? We coming. Now, Ben Simmons or John Wallace, now they can make some moves. Now they can say, okay, let's trade AG. And now we take $32 million, almost $100 million off the books with the years that he has left. And then you go from there. Simple math, AP.
All right, well, let us know your thoughts on Jonas Valanciunas' one-and-done stint with the Denver Nuggets. But this is KKFN HD1 Longmont, Denver, and KARS-FM Laramie. Danilo Piro in for Zach By alongside my main man Phillip Lindsay, and this is The Drive, powered by our friends over at Regen RX.
Woo! Let's go, AP.
Let's go, bro.
Put yourself in the game. JV's
I've
out
been in
the
the game.
Put yourself in the game, man. We'll get you the ball. We'll let you take that
You're
last
a funny
shot.
guy, Mr. Phillip Lindsay. You're a funny guy. All right, let's move it along, though. Something we have yet to touch on today that we definitely need to talk about. Do you know what happened 1 year ago today in Denver Nuggets history?
What happened? I'm not even going to try to guess. That's a long time from now.
Michael Porter Jr. found himself traded from Denver to the Brooklyn Nets. 1 year ago to the day, the trade was made to ship out Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032 unprotected first-round pick in exchange for Cam Johnson.
Wish we had that first-round pick, huh?
Yeah, you're telling me, right? You might have Jaylen Brown if you have that first-round pick still. But let's just kind of go down memory lane here because I think, I know what my opinion was at the time, but on the heels of that 7-game series loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where Aaron Gordon was banged up and Michael Porter Jr. was extremely banged up, and they pushed the Thunder to 7, but ultimately they come up short in the magic carpet ride, and the experiment of firing Malone kind of came to its conclusion there with Adelman. Were you of the opinion that you need to get off Michael Porter Jr., you got to shake this team up, or did you want them to run it back with MPJ?
No, I definitely was on the side of let's shake things up. right? Jokic went to the podium and he said, like, he wasn't happy pretty much. And now it's like you must do something about it, right? You're paying a lot of players. You're paying AG. You're paying Jamal. You're paying Jokic, of course, and then it was MPJ. Now, MPJ, he was actually good for that year, played in 81 of the 82 games, but he was banged up during the postseason, if you remember his shoulder, right? And he wasn't the same version of himself. And it's like if you can get off that money off the books, you do that. You shake things up. You needed more depth coming off the bench. You needed a better sixth man. So I was on the side of like, let's get rid of MPJ. All right, the time is now because of what he did. He's been able to stay healthy at that time for 2 straight years. He brought something to the table. Somebody else is going to want him, and he's still young. That was my take.
Okay. The Nuggets had to get that trade right. They had to, just because of where they're at with cap construction and Jokic in his prime. And look, hindsight is always 20/20. But there's no doubt, now that we find ourselves a year removed, even if Cam Johnson comes back this year and lights it up, I guess anything short of the Nuggets winning a championship, like the Nuggets are going to be on the losing end of this trade. And I'll say it the way my good friend and co-host Jake Shapiro says it. We talked about it on Shapiro and Piro. We're going to do that probably tomorrow too on the Denver Sports YouTube channel. Be sure to check that out. Love doing that. The Nuggets not only gave up an unprotected first-round pick, but they also gave up the better player. And I know there was a thought here that Cam Johnson was going to come in and be this, shoe-in guy. Sure, the three-point volume is going to go down, but he can do more of this, he can do more of that, more consistent of a player. Cam Johnson was a train wreck.
Hold on now.
A train wreck.
Pump the brakes.
Don't sit here and tell me Cam Johnson's a better player.
Now you're trying to piss me off,
please,
right? Like
please,
we've
Phil,
been cordial,
please,
we've been doing
please,
this.
Phil. Come on, Phil.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Cam Johnson is still a better player because you got more out of him defensively. You got more out of him when it came to the three-point shot, and he was just a smarter player. All right, the issue with MPJ was, 1, he didn't play defense, and 2, he didn't move well when the ball was not in his hands. And so that's why you had to get off him, and you were paying him a lot of money. And so not only did you bring in Cam Johnson, which you owed $21, maybe $23 million for, but you were able to bring in, and this is before we knew about JV and it not working out, Jonas. We got to bring in Jonas. You bring in Tim Hardaway Jr. You bring back Brucey B. All right, and then you brought in a smarter player to pair with Jokic. And on top of that, Cam Johnson got better as the year went on. Yes, he started off really, really rough, and it was rough for him, and he got hurt a couple times. But he was one of the better players when we got in the postseason, where Jamal Murray seemed like he took a back seat and AG was hurt. Cam Johnson came up big for us. And although we only won 2 games.
He came up big for you for a cup of Joe at the end of the season when the season was over and done with.
You can't sit here and say MPJ is better than Cam Johnson.
Yes,
right now.
I can, and
Why?
I will, and I am.
Why? Because of the stats? He's with the Nets. He's taking every single shot. Of course he's going to look better. What was the
you
Nets?
are tripping,
what was the Nets record?
It actually has nothing to do with what he did in Brooklyn.
Yes, they're bad. That means, guess what? MPJ gets to sit there and shoot all night long. Where Cam Johnson has to get in where he fits in and he's trying to find himself and find a way to work with Jokic. With Cam Johnson, if he comes back, he'll be a better version of himself because he's more comfortable in understanding his role with Jokic and understanding what Jokic wants done.
Look, man, Cam Johnson last year, obviously, we know. Look, he was far from his best. But last year, Cam Johnson, 12.2 points per game, 3.8 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game. The saving grace for Cam Johnson, it's actually hard for me to believe just having watched the games. He shot 43% from 3.
Exactly.
Right. But like point
That's
being,
great
when
for NBA.
When you trade, and you're talking about offense isn't the issue, Like what did Cam Johnson legitimately do that made this team better?
Shot the 3 ball.
And Michael Porter Jr. is ineffective at shooting the 3 ball?
Is that
the point you're trying to make?
Yes, he struggled with us when he was with the Denver Nuggets. He struggled with us during the postseason twice.
Shot 39.5% from 3 is last year, 39.7%
Is that
the year
good?
prior.
Is that good when you're getting paid a lot of money?
Yeah. Anything over mid high 30s, like low 40s is a good 3-point shooting percentage.
Okay, so
Phil.
what did Cam Johnson have? You just put it up there, right? What did Cam Johnson have?
43%. Yes.
Okay, that was better. He shot better from the 3, man.
This is an elementary take from you. It's very elementary. You're better than this, Phil.
No.
You want to talk about the rebounding? And the rebounding they lost with Michael Porter Jr.?
You keep MPJ. That means you don't get JV. That means you don't get Tim Hardaway Jr. And by the way, at
you
one
still
point,
get Tim Hardaway Jr. on a vet min.
it's going to be hard. You're probably not thinking that way. You don't have Brucey B because there's so much money tied to MPJ. That's why we got rid of him. And if he was that good, why did we have to tie a unprotected first-round draft pick to him to get him off the books? That should tell you a lot right there.
Yeah, look, here's the thing, and
come on, AP, you're better than that.
No, well, yeah, I am, but
okay.
look, at the end of
go
the
ahead,
day,
go ahead and apologize.
I just don't think. I don't think Cam Johnson's a better player than Michael Porter Jr., and it's not just because of what he did with Brooklyn last year. I think Michael Porter Jr. has a higher upside. I think the rebounding as well. Like, Denver lost rebounding in the Michael Porter Jr. trade and did not recoup that.
Denver
you're talking about over 4
AG,
rebounds per game.
Because of AG not being
No, but also Michael Porter Jr. for his career is a much better rebounder than Cam Johnson. I mean, last year alone, let me pull up his season or his career-long stats. Michael Porter Jr. for his career is averaging 6.5 rebounds a game. Cam Johnson last year alone is at 3.8, so that's essentially it's 2 less rebounds per game, which is huge. Denver did nothing to replace that in the starting lineup. Look, and like here's the thing, like Cam Johnson, who was the most inconsistent player for the Nuggets last year?
Cam Johnson.
Right. And so when you trade Michael Porter Jr., a guy who was a proven like, did you ever think that you'd find
the most inconsistent with? I'm gonna have to go with CB. I have to rethink things. CB's just been sitting there quiet.
I'd say you can make an argument for both of these guys.
Pick no.
Here's what I will say.
Christian Brown was horrible,
and we'll ask him because I believe he's doing Denver Sports tonight with Dante. When Will Peterson is talking about Cam Johnson compared to Michael Porter Jr. and this and that, you know something is not exactly correct.
You can't believe Will. Sometimes Will goes crazy.
Will was as anti-MPJ as I can remember. Maybe not quite as much as the Miko stuff, but like Will was. I remember sitting in your chair doing DST with him and trying to defend Michael Porter Jr. And I'm full of
but the thing is, like, Will might not like MPJ, but Will seems like he hates Cam Johnson. So he's going to be on MPJ's side on this one just because he doesn't like Cam Johnson.
Look, but here's the other thing is that Cam Johnson was not good enough, especially like if you want to look at Cam Johnson and MPJ as a wash, we can look at that, right? But when you attach an unprotected first-round pick, you need more. You need more, Phil.
He was cheap. The thing is, MPJ was worth a lot of money, whereas Cam Johnson was cheaper. He was cheaper.
Phil.
So you get that big time money off the books. You bring in a bunch of role players, which we needed. You bring in Cam Johnson, and I agree. Could he have been better? Yes. Will he be better if he's here with the Denver Nuggets? Of course he will, because he's going to be more comfortable, more confident, and understanding what Jokic wants done.
I will say on the side of Phil here, it's not MPJ versus Cam Johnson. It's MPJ versus Cam Johnson, JV, Bruce Brown, Tim Hardaway Jr. It's all 4 of those guys versus MPJ, not just 1 for 1.
No, I think that's fair. I think the bigger thing for me, too, is the fact that you gave up a first-round pick in attachment.
You had no choice but to give that up.
No, I understand.
That speaks a lot of like, hey, like, we don't just want MPJ. Like, we need something else if we're going to take this money from you guys. That's why they did it.
There's a good point here from the 4993. The Timberwolves also in those playoff series put Jaden McDaniels on Michael Porter Jr. That should tell you something. I saw Cam Johnson sitting in the corner wide open knocking down shots in this Minnesota series. Wide open. Do you think they get like what is the game plan offensively for Cam Johnson? It's like, okay, like it's kind of like Christian Brown where it's like we're going to like give him some space from 3-point land, and if he like Michael Porter Jr. could be a difference in a game. I don't think Cam Johnson's a difference maker like that.
He wasn't when he was with the team.
I think I think you forget how good Michael Porter Jr. was at points.
But guess what? You're only as good as the next game. And when we needed him to step up, when everybody was banged up, and I know MPJ was banged up too, he wasn't there. And that's why you got rid of him, because you're paying this man a lot of money to not do his part. But also, it seemed like, all right, and maybe stats-wise it doesn't say that, but it seems like with MPJ, he was missing a lot of threes and wasn't doing some of the things he needed to do when we wanted him to do it or needed him to do it. And that's why you moved on from him. And like DG just said, you got more from getting rid of MPJ. That at that point, before we knew that it wasn't going to work out, we were sitting here, okay, Drew, ZB, everybody was sitting here saying, hey, the Nuggets have a chance to win the championship because of these moves. And now you're sitting here saying that MPJ, we're worse off because we got rid of MPJ pretty much.
The other thing is the threat of Michael Porter Jr. from 3-point land. Like, I understand he didn't, like compared to last year in Brooklyn, he shot 36.3% at MPJ. Cam Johnson last year for the Denver Nuggets shot 43% from 3. But you also have to talk about half the amount of attempts. Half the amount of attempts Last year, Cam Johnson, 110 for 256 from three-point land. Michael Porter Jr., just for Brook. Let's even go his last year in Denver, where he shot 39.5%. He shot 489 threes. When you're shooting less threes and you're getting open looks, it's like Michael Porter Jr., Michael Never Swing the Rock Porter Jr., right? Like, that was the nickname we got for him. Like, there's context to this stuff as well. It's like, sure, like Cam Johnson was, shooting the three-point shot at a higher clip. Michael Porter Jr. made 193 three-point shots in his final year with the Denver Nuggets, which was considered to be an awkward year at best. He made more three-point shots. He made more three-point shots compared to as many attempts as Cam Johnson almost took.
Well, because Cam, but
256.
that's the thing. That was the issue with Cam at the beginning of the year. He wasn't shooting the ball, and we're sitting here saying, Cam, why won't you just be like Tim Hardaway Jr. and shoot the damn ball? All right, it took him time to adjust. MPJ was here with Denver for a very long time. He understood what he needed to do. And then he knew that when he went to the Brooklyn Nets, all he was going to do is shoot. That's why he went there, and that's why he was happy. But guess what? If you ask MPJ, would he want to come back? He'd say, hell yes. I'd rather come back and be a part of a team than take a million shots and lose a bunch of games.
Let me ask you this. Go back in time a year ago. You making the trade. Knowing
Yes.
what you know.
Yes.
You're still making dude,
I am
you're
still
crazy, bro.
yes.
You're
I'm
insane.
still making so do you think
Thank
that
God
we
you're
won a
not running the
championship?
Nuggets, bro. My gosh.
Do you think we're winning a championship if we had MPJ this year?
Wait. Dante's just like, please.
We might need to escort this man out of here because that's some crazy.
my 10 days up in 45 minutes, bro. Don't you worry.
No,
don't
Nilo
sign him
looked at
back.
me in disbelief that he couldn't believe what you were saying, and I gave the point to you. I'm on your side, Phil. I would do the trade all over again.
Why?
You got to give yourself a fighting chance. It didn't work out with MPJ.
It didn't work out. You won a ring with the guy.
Yes, but then after that, what happened? You didn't win one the next year. And the next year after that,
There hasn't been a repeat champion in the NBA in 10
okay,
years.
But guess
Phil.
what? When you have one of the greatest players to play the game, when we were calling Jokic that, you have to go for it. And we needed a shakeup, and we got that shakeup. And I know you thought we were going to go to another championship this year. Did you not?
I did pick them,
Okay.
yes. I did.
Oh, why was that?
I thought Cam Johnson was going to be a lot better than he actually was.
What else? Was it JV coming in?
It was JV.
Was it Tim Hardaway
Tim
Jr.?
Hardaway Jr.
Bruce
all that
Brown?
stuff. Yes.
The
I
only
like
way
their
you get
chances.
those guys is trading away MPJ.
Okay,
So now
okay.
you're looking back at it. You think that we keep MPJ, we win? Come on, dude.
Well, I'm not. 'Cause again, all roads lead back to David Adelman, as we've discussed
I forgot.
on this program today.
Forgot, he's the guy.
But I want to give Dante an opportunity here. Like, why do you continue? Why would you make the trade? I in a heartbeat, give me MPJ back if I could.
No, I think Cam Johnson's better than Michael Porter Jr. straight up. I think the real letdown for the Nuggets this year was Aaron Gordon going down. You talked about the lack of rebounding. I mean, if you have Aaron Gordon and Nikola Jokic out there, you don't really need another primary rebounder.
Yeah.
So I think he was better straight up. And then also, if you include the other three players the Nuggets were able to sign because Cam Johnson's on a lesser contract, I definitely think I'm making the trade again.
Well,
Like, if you're gonna point fingers at like what happens if someone like Christian Brown was better?
what happens if someone like Cam Johnson was better?
Well, no.
He was one of the better
come on.
players in
Yes,
the
he
playoffs,
was.
first of all.
What are you
Everybody
talking
else
about?
disappeared. He at least played well.
Dude, they sagged off of
the
CP
team was dead.
so much it was crazy.
Cam Johnson balling out in that series against the Minnesota Timberwolves is like, I don't even know what I can compare it to. It meant nothing.
Hold on. Why are you so against Cam Johnson? What did he do to you?
One guy disappeared completely against the Timberwolves 2 years ago, and the other guy actually performed well.
Like, what did he do to you?
Cam Johnson's done nothing to me. And like, let me spin it this way. Like, I don't think Cam Johnson can be any worse than he was last year in the regular season.
He shot like 43% from three. Is that not something you want on your team?
Bro,
isn't that considered like elite?
Oh, yeah, anything over 40
three-point
is
shooting?
elite, especially at the volume he was shooting at.
You guys are making me sound like I'm. I mean, like, did you not come on this very show and critique Cam Johnson?
No doubt. But we're not talking
Did
about
Cam-
Cam Johnson with the Denver Nuggets. We're talking about Cam Johnson versus trading away MPJ.
Right.
The trading away MPJ was the right thing to do. MPJ had way too much money tied to him, and we needed that flexibility, which we got. It just didn't work out like we thought it was going to work out. Plus, there was injuries baked into that. Cam Johnson having multiple injuries. I think it was his knee or quad, and he had a shoulder. And then as time went on, he got better. He got more confident. Even he told himself that he needed to start just freeing his mind. And once he did that, he started to play better. He started to gain that confidence. And he was one of the better players in the postseason. All right, if you're going to point any finger, you don't point it at Cam Johnson, who's a role player. You point it at Jamal Murray, Jokic, and you can even point it at CB if you want, because he was horrible all year long. But the fact that you want to pick on Cam Johnson because it didn't work out, that's crazy talk.
I think the other thing that I'm getting at is it's actually less about Cam and MPJ, and it's more so about attaching the first-round pick to it. Right?
You had no choice.
No, I understand that, but let's not make it seem like this is a winning trade for the Denver Nuggets.
I never said it, but see, the thing is, I never said it was a winning trade, but it was our best opportunity to win a championship at the time. You had to shake this roster up.
But that's what I'm saying. And a year ago, I understand that the sentiment and the conversation was different about this stuff, right? But, like, I don't know, man. Like, I just look back on it, and I say when you're attached, like, Cam Johnson left something to be desired for the Nuggets moving forward. Like, and again, that's why I say, like, the Nuggets, part of the reason why, and let me put this out there too on the record, because you guys might think I'm thinking the other, but like, I wanted Denver to bring back Cam Johnson this next year. I do not.
It doesn't sound like it.
Well, because I'm separating the thought between the trade and this and that. But like, I agree with you and what you're saying, that like this year, talking about 26, 27, the best path to a championship for the Denver Nuggets is Cam Johnson being more consistent, being healthy, and Christian Brown not being nearly as bad as he was last year. If those two things happen, their floor rises a little bit. But I would say for sure more than half of the regular season last year, Cam Johnson looked lost out there. That's partially because of injuries. That's partially about fitting into a new system. But like, let's not act like Cam Johnson was this perfect fit like some people thought he would be when he was traded.
I'm with you on that. He wasn't a perfect fit, but we needed him to do this. And it was just the best thing for the Denver Nuggets at the time because you freed up that money, AP. All right, yes, you had to give up that unprotected first-round draft pick. That sucks. The reason why you had to give it up is because the Nets were taking on so much of MPJ's contract.
Right.
But the fact that you sit here and say that was a bad trade and you would bring back MPJ.
Well, who won the trade? I think that's very obvious who won the trade.
Well, I think this is the thing. If the Denver Nuggets decide to run him back again, which
they're going to.
Okay, which you believe they're going to, then we have to see after this year. If the Nuggets win a championship, then the Nuggets won the trade. If they don't, then we can sit here and say, yeah, the Nuggets did not win that trade, and maybe it helped the Brooklyn Nets out. So we're still waiting on that because the core is still intact. The core is still together for another year until they're not.
Yeah, no, I think it's fair, and ultimately, I think it is interesting to kind of look back, but it feels like alternate trajectories, right? And we always kind of knew that Michael Porter Jr. To me, it's not about what Michael Porter Jr. did in Brooklyn last year. That was always kind of the expectation to me, and I just don't think that Cam Johnson last year, body of work. I understand the playoffs, but like that team was. By the time that Cam Johnson showed up in that series, the series was already decided. So it's like, you know, that's house money to a certain extent for me when it comes to Cam Johnson. But for me, like, we knew what Michael Porter Jr. was going to become in Brooklyn. And I was even kind of skeptical on MPJ too. Like I found myself in between, and I liked the Cam Johnson trade when it first happened. I can't lie to you about that. But I'm sitting here and I'm looking, and I agree with you about the money situation, and I'm like, Brooklyn finds themselves in a situation now with a better player and a better asset and a first-round pick. I think he's a better player, straight up. Straight up.
All right. Yeah, the Nets did get a really good player in MPJ. They got a draft pick, and that's what they were looking for. A young player that can shoot the three, that maybe they can build around. But at some point, there was rumors at the time. There was rumors swirling around how the Nets were willing to maybe make a trade to get MPJ moved somewhere else. If you remember that too, there's a reason for that. They weren't good. The Nets are looking to get draft picks. That's right. What it's all about. So I mean,
that's fair. Like, look,
it's
MPJ,
crazy, man, that you think that MPJ is a better player than Cam Johnson.
I don't think it's crazy at all. I really don't. But you know, it's also a fun conversation because the text line, the Ramos.com text line, half of them, it's like half are with me, half are with you. Some people think I'm
the
an
half
idiot.
with me is right.
The half with me is right? But it's like a lot of it depends on your opinion of what Michael Porter Jr. is and was, and what Cam Johnson did. And again, like let's put a bow on it and kind of spin it forward because the past is the past. It's fun to kind of look back at what this trade was and how we got here and what resulted in year one. The fact of the matter is the Nuggets find themselves at the point of no return, right? We're talking about LeBron this, LeBron that. It ain't happening, folks. Maybe it could. Maybe, 5%, living on a prayer, whatever it might be. But like the Nuggets, if they want to contend, if they want to get past Oklahoma City, if they want to get past San Antonio, Cam Johnson is essential to that. Not an if. Like last year, I felt like Cam was a bit wishy-washy. And more washy than wishy.
He was inconsistent at the beginning.
You
of the
know,
year.
like not at the beginning for a lot of the season.
But why aren't you putting more blame on someone like Christian Brown who just got
I
paid
am.
a
I
ton
think
of money? Like I know we're talking about Cam
I
Johnson,
think it's
but
equal.
I think it's
equal.
not. It's nowhere near. No. Cam Johnson is playing with $22 million. He's been there. He's a vet. You know what you're getting out of him. Usually he's very consistent. And actually, he started to be consistent by the end of the year. CB, on the other hand, I don't know what he was doing. Now, people can blame him being hurt. If you're hurt, sit on the bench because you're no good to the team if you're not healthy. CB needs to take that next step because he put so much more pressure on the other four because he didn't do his job. They were sagging so far off of CB, it wasn't even funny. It looked like CB was shooting in the gym by himself. That's crazy right there when you're an NBA player on the starting five and people are sagging off on you because they don't believe in you shooting the three.
Was Cam Johnson a top 5 Nugget last year?
Yes. Where'd it go? It went Jokic. It went Jamal. Okay, AG was hurt, so I can't put AG in it. Okay. Tim Hardaway Jr. was up there because of what he brought.
Payton Watson.
Cam Johnson, Payton Watson. Top 5. Yeah, yep. You know that. List it. List your top 5 before we go. Exactly.
Jokic, Murray, Watson.
Okay, that's 3.
I'm going Hardaway Jr.
Okay, that's 4. Exactly. Go ahead. Go to break.
No, and then I think it's a debate.
Go to break. Go ahead. Dude, you lost the battle. It has to be Cam Johnson in the top 5. AG wasn't playing enough games. He only played in 36 games.
Yeah, but when he was out there, he's extremely effective.
When he was out there.
When he was out there, he was extremely effective.
Dude, just say Cam Johnson and move on.
Oh, my gosh. All right, well, I did not think we'd get 24 minutes out of that, to be completely honest with you. But, we finally found ourselves. I said I want a little spice. It's been a little too nice today. We finally got that, Phil. All right, let us know your thoughts. RamosAuto.com, text line 303-713-1043 if you guys want to get involved in the conversation. When we come back, big story from ESPN yesterday about Sean Payton, his coaching style, his personality. How will that influence the offensive play calling with Davis Webb at the helm? That's next.
The Avalanche have set their sights on another Stanley Cup. But the biggest move of the offseason might not happen on the ice. What's next for Cale Makar as Colorado builds for the future? All eyes are on a potential contract extension for the franchise defenseman and cornerstone of the Avs organization. How will it get done? And what does it mean for the team's championship window? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealership since 1975 in Boulder, has a championship-level lineup ready for you to test drive and take home today. They currently have specials on both the BMW X3 and X5 models. The BMW X3 model is a luxury compact SUV that offers balanced handling and a powertrain variety. The BMW X5 model is a high-performance powerhouse luxury model that offers you a thrilling driving experience. They also have a great pre-owned BMW lineup as well. Schedule your test drive today. Go to GebhardtBMW.com.
Gebhardt BMW, your trusted family dealership since 1975.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This is the sound of Lucy, staying on top of her spending. You see, even though she's buying a new pair of jeans, she knows that it fits within her monthly budget. Because Wells Fargo will send an alert if her balance drops below her set amount. Yep, nothing gets past Lucy, or Wells Fargo for that matter. However you make money work, Wells Fargo can work with that.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Has your doctor told you it's time to lose weight? Is your blood pressure up? Your cholesterol keeps climbing? Or you're already on medication and wondering, is this just my life now? Or been told you need a procedure or surgery, but you have to lose weight first? That's where most people get stuck. At Colorado Fat Loss, we help people lose 20 to 40 pounds naturally in about 60 days without injections, prepackaged meals, or extreme workouts. But more importantly, we help you keep it off so you're not stuck wondering what problem is next. Imagine lowering your blood pressure, improving your health, and taking pressure off your joints. Because if nothing changes, it's usually more medication or bigger problems down the road, especially if you have a family history of health issues or feeling the effects of getting older.
Hey guys, Mark Schlereth here. I lost 30 pounds in just 7 weeks, and I've been able to keep the weight off, and I'm telling you what, I feel great.
Many clients lose 20 to 40 pounds in about 60 days. Schedule a free consultation. Call and take control of your health. Go to coloradofatloss.com. That's coloradofatloss.com. Results may vary.
House calls? It's 2026. Doctors and lawyers don't make house calls anymore, right? Not true, actually. At 303-LAW-4040, we always tell you about how we want to meet with you in person. Now, generally that means, yes, you come and meet my lovely wife, Kimberly, and I in our Denver Tech Center offices. But sometimes you're hurt, you're seriously injured. You're either still in the hospital or you can't move around, you don't have a car yet. And it's important to get a plan in place quickly when these things happen. So we'll come out, we'll do a house call. Heck, we had one house call recently. The dog came out and took a little ride in the DeLorean. It was fantastic. I'll bring the DeLorean to the house, but we're here to help. And actually, my lovely wife, Kimberly, says that's one of the best parts of the job is when we get to spend time together in somebody's living room, helping them out as they're in a tough spot because they were injured in an accident. So if you need us, go ahead, save that number in your phone, 303-LAW-4040. That's 303-LAW-4040.
When disaster hits your home, it's game time. Water in the basement, fire damage, mold creeping in. Don't sit on the sidelines. Call Able. Able Restoration is your first round draft pick for emergency response, mitigation, and full rebuild. We move fast, protect your property, and fight for you with insurance start to finish. This isn't practice. This is your home. And when it's time to step up and protect what matters most, bring Able to the table. Call 303-590-5600. That's 303-590-5600. Go Able.
Bring Able to the table.
Listen up, Denver. This hour's keyword is tackle, T-A-C-K-L-E. Text tackle to 303-713-1043 right now for your chance to win a $250 gas card. That's tackle to 303-713-1043.
By texting, you agree to receive an automated marketing message from Denver Sports 1043 The Fan. Message and data rates may apply. For complete rules or to enter the keyword online, visit www.denversports.com/keyword.
It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 1043 The Fan.
All right, fun conversation with Phil. A little revisionist history, comparing and contrasting the Cam Johnson for Michael Porter Jr. swap.
We'll agree to disagree on that one. By the way, my fifth nugget that I would take over Cam Johnson would have been Spencer Jones.
Look at you. No, you don't. You don't get to do that. You don't get to go in the break, really think about it, and then come back.
Okay, but according to Drew Spivak, you switched up your entire take that you've had about Cam Johnson.
No, I didn't. I just like if I'm defending Cam Johnson, it has to make sense. And on this one, it's making sense. Like the reason why you have Cam Johnson here is because you believe that he was a smarter player, better with the ball. The ball not in his hand.
I'm not disagreeing with the logic.
And plays better defense, which he does.
I'm not disagreeing with the logic.
Okay.
But it is what it is. We spent half an hour on that. I think we can move on.
Yeah, no, for sure.
It's fun. I enjoy sparring with you.
I think that was a KO. Trying to get this man some smelling salts.
Oh, my gosh. All right.
Some smelling salts.
Speaking of a man who does not need smelling salts, that would be Sean Payton.
Yeah, don't give him.
Yeah, Sean, I don't think needs anything right now. I think Sean is so in the mind of Sean and football and obsession, and we, I can't even say the expectation. We know that Davis Webb is going to be the new offensive play caller for this Denver Broncos team, Phil. And the question is, based on that story that came out yesterday from ESPN, is how will the intensity of Sean Payton as a coach potentially influence Davis Webb as a play caller? Like, do we think Davis is going to be completely his own man? I don't think anyone necessarily expects that, but like, how much of a heavy hand will Sean have in the play calling? And that was one of my big takeaways from that story from ESPN, is while I do think this will be Davis's offense to, create and design and call and all that kind of stuff, it does kind of feel like it'll be like your mom or dad, like, over your shoulder while you're doing your math homework, right? Making sure you're doing it right.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Payton, his whole life has been, when it comes to coaching, has been calling plays. That's his identity, and then, of course, he's a head coach. So it's going to be hard for him just to sit back and watch somebody else do his job. So he's going to have some input. He's going to be able to say what he wants. Of course, like we talked about yesterday, he gives the green light to what plays are going to be ran during that game. But also, I think Sean looks at Davis Webb as Parcells looked at Sean when he was little and he was young. It's like, hey, at some point you have to let this guy grow. And that's exactly what Sean Payton's going to do. He's going to let Davis Webb grow and let Davis Webb go out there, make a couple mistakes, hopefully not too many, and see what it looks like. Now, Sean can always take back play calling duties. It's his team. But I think now taking that step back, he can look at it as just a CEO, look at it as the head coach. Focus on the defense and what needs to be done. Focus on special teams and, of course, still focus on the offense. But maybe he has a better point of view on the offense now that he has a fresh set of eyes doing all the work. And then he gets to go in there at times and say, hey, I want this to be ran this way.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think the question that I have as it pertains to this conversation is, I think we've got it right here in front of us. Hold on. We do. The NFL schedule, right? The first 6 games, I know it's been a big talking point on this station. At Kansas City, home versus Jacksonville and the Rams. At San Francisco, at the Chargers, home versus Seattle. Like, let's say it's got to be a losing record, right, for this to kind of come into play. Let's say they're 2-4 through those first 6 games, because I don't think 3-3 would mean quite enough. Although 3-3, you're looking at how many games they lost last year, right? I mean, you match your loss amount in the first 6 games if that is going to play out.
But the first 6 games are so tough.
It's a gauntlet.
It's different than last year's.
But like, let's say they start out 2-4, and the offense leaves something to be desired, kind of like Cam Johnson. How do you think Sean Payton kind of adjust that with the play calling?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Sean Payton's not going to let it get to 2-4 before he takes back play calling.
So that's the thing, right?
That's way too much. So let's go 3-3. Let's go 3-3. That's a little bit different.
Is 3-3 a win to you in that first 6 game stretch?
I said earlier 3-3 is a win. It's a lot of games that you're playing against playoff contenders, teams that probably have a chance to go to a Super Bowl. So if you can go 3-3, and let's just say some of those wins come down to a field goal, it doesn't come down to the offense messing up. I think you're going to give Davis Webb the benefit of the doubt to continue to move forward. Now, if you're 3-3 and the offense is looking bad and it's sputtering out and you can't get any type of movement in the run game and Bo Nix is struggling to hit on some of the deep balls, then you can make that change back to Sean Payton. I think it all depends on what the offense looks like. And if it's 3-3 but the offense is still doing well, you stay with someone like Davis Webb.
I don't think it's going to be the defense that's struggling.
Well, you never know.
You do never know. But if you had to guess before the season started, like, the defense you would expect to be pretty similar to what it was last year, right? In the last few years, to be quite honest with you.
Well, no, honestly, if the Denver Broncos go 3-3, I'm thinking that the defense is struggling. Because usually, because of what Bo Nix has shown us, is he has ice in his veins. And if it comes down to him with the ball in his hands, he's going to win that game. But if you're 3-3, that means that these other good quarterbacks are marching down the field, scoring touchdowns, making it hard for the offense to play catch-up.
Right. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. And ultimately, like, again, not that I didn't question this already, but we already knew how intense Sean was. And kind of just understanding just how much more intense he was than even I thought he might be, that's where I do wonder. Like I said, it's kind of like your mom or your dad breathing down your neck. It's like your teacher breathing down your neck, right? When you're trying to put together your homework or take your test or whatever it might be, and you're sweating because you got someone watching over you like that, right? Like it's like even in youth sports, right? Like I remember playing baseball, like my dad's watching this and that during the tryout. Like there's like a little extra juice, right? And so I think it's going to be that kind of similar dynamic that plays out with the offensive play calling with these two guys. And ultimately, I hope that Sean Payton provides Davis Webb with this runway, but Sean is going to be put in a position that he hasn't been in the entire time he's been an NFL head coach.
It's on Davis Webb. Let it rip, Davis. Let it rip and show Sean Payton you deserve to continue to call plays for the whole season.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts. Do you think Sean will take back play calling if things go awry early in the season? What do you think the threshold is for Davis Webb? And do you even think Sean Payton will have any, significant influence in a bad way over Davis Webb and how he wants to call the players, or will they both be on the same page from the jump? All right, when we come back, what did we learn today in Denver sports? Phil and I will break that down and put a bow on the show.
The Nuggets are making headlines. Peyton Watson's contract talks are heating up, while Denver's reportedly exploring a blockbuster run at LeBron James. Can the Nuggets keep their rising young star and add one of the greatest players ever alongside Nikola Jokic? Stay locked in for the latest twists, rumors, and reactions. Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here for the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about intimacy. You already know in your heart of heart it matters, but when erectile dysfunction gets in the way, it can feel frustrating, embarrassing, and isolating. The truth is, most men don't have to live with ED anymore. At the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, they use advanced medical science and proven therapies that go far beyond pills, and I'm talking success rates well over 90%, guys. They've served the Front Range of Colorado for nearly a decade, and they have successfully treated tens of thousands of men just like you. ED is nearly a choice at this point in the game, all right? So your initial visit is just $99. That includes a medical consult, a T and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. It's real simple, fellas. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is completely free. They have 5 locations in Colorado to serve you, so call them at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Hi, Dan Cicchini, Done Right Home Improvements. For an 8% scheduling incentive and a special financing rate of 0% APR with 72 equal monthly payments, go to drhi.com. Kitchens, baths, counters, and floors. Finished basements, windows, and doors. You have our word, we'll treat you right at Done Right.
You know that feeling, sitting at the kitchen table, staring at a stack of bills, wondering how you got here? Credit cards, car payments, subscriptions you forgot about. It all piles up. But here's the thing. If you own a home, you're sitting on the answer. American Financing can help you declutter your monthly bills into a single manageable payment. Their salary-based mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture, not just one piece, all right? The average customer savings is $800 a month. You may delay 2 mortgage payments and may close in as fast as 10 days. Guys, there is never any upfront fees or obligation with American Financing. This is a family-owned lender, not one of those big banks where you're just a number. So pick up the phone and start that conversation at 303-695-7000. That's 303-695-7000, or simply visit them online at AmericanFinancing.net. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
It's easy to find your groove. As America celebrates, Groove Toyota, the oldest family-owned Toyota dealership in the Denver Metro, has more reasons to celebrate. Choose from hundreds of pre-owns, 40 under 15 grand. GrooveToyota.com. Plus, Groove Toyota has more than 100 used Toyotas, including Toyota Certifieds with full warranties available. Hurry into our Red, White, and Drive event. Groove Toyota. Start here, go anywhere.
Offer expires 7/31/26. Not all will qualify. Restrictions apply. With approved credit call 720-961-4465 for complete details.
If you're stuck in rush hour traffic, you have options. Contact Arby's, and Arby's today to get $1 fries and sliders between 2 and 6 p.m. Get $1 fries and sliders between 2 and 6 p.m. with any regularly priced food item only at participating Arby's.
Arby's, we have the meat.
Colorado, it's time to take our recycling to the next level. That's why Recycle-On Colorado is bringing you more curbside and drop-off service from peaks to prairies. Guidelines as clear as our skies, so you know what goes where. And the price? As free as gawking at Bighorns on I-70. You deserve a recycling system you can count on, like your puffiest winter coat. And we're here to give it to you. Learn more at recycleon.org/Colorado.
I'm Rob Wilhite, and for nearly 50 years, my firm has been fighting for seriously injured car accident victims in Colorado. Serious accidents demand serious representation. We dig into every detail of your case, and we don't back down until we get you the maximum compensation you deserve. If you or someone you love has been seriously injured in a car accident, call the Wilhite Law Firm today at 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com. That's 303-GOOD-LAW or visit wilhitewins.com.
Hey, that's not bacon grilling. That's your living room at 2 p.m. If your home heats up every summer, your windows might be the reason. Infinity by Marvin Windows protect your home from UV rays, solar heat, and help lower energy bills all summer long. Colorado homeowners have trusted Gravina's Window Center of Littleton for 50 years. Right now, you can save 25% on Infinity by Marvin Windows. Visit them at windowsforyourhome.com. That's windowsforyourhome.com.
The fun doesn't stop at the rides at Elitch Gardens. Watch incredible drone shows light up the Denver sky. Then grab a tube and float into a dive-in movie marathon week, where blockbuster family films play right in the wave pool. Meet family favorites like Blippi and Mika, Peppa Pig, and the Power Rangers during special live appearances all season long. Plus, enjoy thrilling coasters, family rides, and Colorado's only combination theme and water park. Make your summer unforgettable at Elitch Gardens. Get tickets and season passes now at elitchgardens.com.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Powered by Advanced Tax Solutions. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
All right, winding on down here on the Drive. It's been an absolute pleasure the last few days with you, Phil. It's been fun.
Pleasure's all mine, baby.
Jokic debates, extension, MPJ and Cam, LeBron to Denver. A lot of good Nuggets talk. Honestly, a lot of good Broncos talk, Buff talk as well.
I liked our hell of a conversation from the other day, too, so it's been fun. We'll do it again soon. And you'll be in good hands with our good friend, Mr. Will Peterson, the next couple of days, who joins us right now ahead of DST. What's up, dude?
What up, boys? Scrappy.
All right, so honestly, I really wanted you in here because I think
you need help.
No, I don't think it's help. I think it's just a little.
It's like, yeah.
It's the fresh conversation, right? And Jake Shapiro pointed this out to me yesterday that today is the 1-year anniversary of the Michael Porter Jr. swap for Cam Johnson. And my big thing is, I know Jake's a little bit more intense on this, I guess you could say, because I know Jake was a big MPJ guy, but like, I don't think Cam Johnson's the player they thought they were getting, and I know Phil keeps going back to the three-point shooting percentage of over 40%, which is remarkable. I'm not going to deny that,
43%.
But
get it right.
I think it's also fair to say that Cam Johnson left something to be desired with this Nuggets team. I don't think he was anywhere close to his full form.
Oh, definitely. No, Cam Johnson was one of my least favorite players on the Nuggets this year. Phil knows I tried to boot him out of the rotation. Not even the starting lineup. I tried to kick him all the way out of the rotation. He won me back a little bit because he did pick it up in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
But the thing that bothers me, and Phil, you do come back to it, and other people on the station come back to it, is bringing up Game 6 against the Wolves like that's some sort of flex.
Exactly.
They lost to a JV team, and I don't care that Cam Johnson finally remembered he could score once the series was already over.
He scored 18 in Game 5 too, though.
But it's an elimination game that people want to be like, well, this is why he's a great player.
But also, like, if you're going to go at somebody, go at Jokic, go at Jamal, go at the guys that didn't come to play Game 6.
I'm not going to go after Nikola Jokic.
Okay.
He was fine in that series. Okay. Jamal Murray was terrible.
Come on, Jokic could have done
better.
better.
I will give you that. But you honestly, I was listening to you guys, 5:15ish driving in, and it feels like Like, are you boys with Cam Johnson? Like, I'm asking seriously. Like, it feels like you think this guy is really good at basketball.
No, like the question was the trade with the Brooklyn Nets? Did the Nets win the trade?
I don't think
because of MPJ in the first round, right? The unprotected first round.
Correct. And I think
you said that MPJ is better.
I think MPJ is a better player than Cam Johnson.
Then why did we give him up?
Because of the money. And that's, I think, the point that you're trying to make is by trading Michael Porter Jr. and a first-round pick, you provide yourself with additional flexibility to go out there and sign Jonas Valanciunas. Like, I leave Tim Hardaway Jr. and Bruce Brown out of this because both of those guys sit on vet min deals. Like, you probably could have got those guys anyway. And so, like, I understand, like, and I remember doing DST with you last year, and I'm sitting here defending Michael Porter Jr., and I know you were kind of up and down on MPJ as well. And look, the MPJ we got in Brooklyn last year is not the MPJ we would have had in Denver had he stayed. But I'm sitting here, I'm saying, like, Cam Johnson was supposed to fit like a glove. At least that's what we were sold, is this guy is going to be a seamless fit, and he plays defense and this and that. It looks
like they're getting ready to run it back. When I say the front office seems like, as of right now, that they might run it back. Mm-hmm. So we still don't know what this could look like. Maybe this year 2.
I know what it looked like for MPJ in 1 year in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it wasn't good enough. And the Nets wanted to trade MPJ for assets. Because they're not a good team.
That's a loser franchise.
And MPJ is getting all the shots that he wants. Like, that's why it looks so good. Like, you can't look at stats. You got to really look at what's going on. Cam Johnson being here in Denver, it was a better fit. All right, what does year 2 look like with Jokic, with Jamal Murray? I think it looks better. Cam Johnson started to get more comfortable with himself in his role as time went on. Also, with Cam Johnson is he was banged up at the beginning of the season. Twice. I think it was with his leg the first time, and it was his shoulder his second. And then he showed up, and he was the only one to show up in the postseason.
You just said we can't talk about Christian Brown being injured, and now you're talking about Cam Johnson.
No, you can talk about CB
a half hour ago. You said, well, he was injured, but he wasn't good enough.
CB was injured, but he kept playing on it, and he didn't get better. CB did not get better the whole year.
It's
the same thing,
if I remember correctly.
Cam Johnson got better as the year went on. CB did not. He stayed the same.
But I also think
you're either getting better or you're getting worse. Nothing ever stays the same.
I think there's also a little bit of slack, as frustrating as it was for CB, because we've seen CB be good.
A little bit of slack.
Like
Coming off the bench, guys. Coming off the bench.
Cam Johnson's the new kid on the block. Like, when you trade a guy that, love him or hate him, a polarizing figure, like, when you look back to that Nuggets championship team, you're always going to remember, obviously, Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, but you're going to remember Michael Porter Jr. as what he represented to that era. Like, and I'm not saying, like, the expectations ultimately dictate how Cam Johnson plays and how we view him necessarily from a consistency perspective, but, like, Christian's earned the right. I don't want to even say earned the right.
You better not say that.
No, but
you better not say that.
Do you think Christian will be as bad as he was last year?
No, I don't, and he better
we've
not.
We've seen him do
it
with the Nuggets.
The man is getting paid $25 million a year. He better shape things up, play better defense. Let's start there. All right, develop a shot, because they were sagging off him so hard it wasn't even funny. And he actually hurt Cam Johnson, Jamal Murray, and Jokic and AG, because now there's more attention put on them to pick up the slack for what CB was not doing.
Can I play arbitrator here for a second?
Please.
On the Christian Brown thing, I know you were going to say he's earned the right. He did play pretty well in that first year they asked him to be the starter after Kentavious Caldwell Pope left.
Because the contract was up. Everybody plays well knowing that your contract is up.
That's not true.
Well, now you're saying the guy got paid and took his foot off the gas?
That's what it's looking like.
Oof.
That's a crazy take,
I think he was hurt. But on the other side of the coin here, Anilo, it is ironic. I'm gonna have Phil's back here just a little bit.
Oh, thanks, Will.
On the day that they cut Jonas Valanciunas, you're trying to use him in your argument.
Use Jonas in the argument?
You said because they got Cam, they were able to sign Jonas. It's like, well, that was an epic fail. They just cut the guy 3 hours ago.
No, that I agree with, but I'm saying like part of the reason why the Nuggets made the trade is because they were able. It wasn't you were able to get Cam Johnson and another player that wasn't on a min.
But that player didn't work out.
Correct.
They literally just cut ties with him.
Yeah, but like I think that's maybe I got misconstrued. Like, that certainly factors into the outcome of this trade, right? But like when I look at it with Michael Porter Jr. on top of giving up a first-round pick and then missing on the additional signing, that makes the trade look even worse to me.
I think that you have to.
You didn't use that cap space that you were desperate to have, so you attached the first-round pick to your advantage.
If the Nuggets run it back with this unit, this core, and they win a championship next year, I don't think it's going to happen, but let's just say it does. They'll have an opportunity. They'll win a lot of games.
Like, but here's
then could you sit here and say that the trade was good for the Denver Nuggets?
Sure.
Okay,
we got to get there first.
To wait. Exactly.
But
so
here's how you also have to look at the Brooklyn trade this way with Michael Porter Jr. It was a salary dump for the Nuggets. The only reason why they attached a first-round pick is to dump the salary of Michael Porter Jr.
Why do you think they had to do that? Why did they do a salary dump with MPJ?
Because he was overpaid. But that's a whole separate conversation. And Dante's shaking his head back there. Dante loves to equate the almighty dollar to a player's value and skill set. So I don't know what you're shaking your head and smiling about back there.
Picking on DG.
No, because he's like, every time I bring this up, he's like, well, the market will dictate how good this player is. And Michael Porter Jr. is making more money than Cam Johnson.
Yeah, but he's not worth that much anymore. That's why they had to get salary dumped.
So, but here's the other thing is true, and we don't have enough time to get into this, but
the market did speak on his value, and they said it's not worth it.
Part of the reason why they had to sign Michael Porter Jr. to the max, and I guess it was still kind of early in the CBA, but the Nuggets, you have to retain a player with the potential of Michael Porter Jr. Again, that's a whole separate conversation. But ultimately, look, I think it's fascinating. I really think it is, and I understand why the Nuggets made the trade, fellas. It's just, to me, I think Cam Johnson, the point I'm trying to make is he left something to be desired. I don't think Cam Johnson was nearly as good as Michael Porter Jr. at his best. I don't even think I think Cam Johnson was more consistent to Michael Porter Jr. at his worst at times.
Yeah, no, the Nuggets lost that trade.
Yes.
For sure. I'm with you.
The Nuggets have not lost a trade yet. Now, if it doesn't pan out after next year,
Phil, one guy's a champion and the other guy's going to get traded on an expiring deal.
But also, one guy, okay, he's a champion because of him. He's a champion because of Jokic. He's a champion because of KCP and Jamal Murray.
He was pretty good against the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals.
If we're going to go down that road, it's who do you remember first? Jokic. Number 2, it could be between AG or Jamal Murray. Number 3, it would be probably or AG and Jamal Murray. Then it's going to be it'll be Jamal Murray and then AG. And then maybe you think about someone like MPJ.
Is getting to the finals good? Because Cam Johnson's done it twice, MPJ's done it once, and he got dragged there by
not
Jokic.
with Denver, though. No one cares about your Phoenix Suns, Dante. Respectfully, bro.
I walked into a buzz.
You want to try to bring that up? Oh, my gosh, look at what he did for my team. Great, bro. What did he do here? Nothing.
My brain's so
Game
fried,
6,
I'm over
show
here
out.
mixing people up.
It's like when Sean Payton brings up New Orleans. It's dude, we don't
care. Yeah. All right, no, I love it, man. I really do think it's fun to reminisce. I mean, Phil and I have had some scrappy conversations over the last couple of days, all Nuggets related. I think we've kind of seen eye to eye a lot on the Broncos, Avalanche as well, Rocky. We disagree on the Rockies and how they should handle the trade deadline. But it was fun, and ultimately we'll see what happens with the Denver Nuggets the rest of the way this offseason. Again, Jonas Valanciunas was waived today. We're still waiting for the big move. It appears they're out of the LeBron James mix as well. But, Phil, awesome job. Appreciate working with you the last few days, my man. You'll be in good hands with Will. And Will's got you with Dante Gomez coming up next on Denver Sports Tonight. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.
The wait is almost over, Broncos country.
And I like football.
Training camp is right around the corner, and all eyes are on Bo Nix as Denver looks to take the next step in year 3 under Sean Payton. Can the Broncos build on last season's momentum? Who will emerge in key position battles? And are the Broncos ready to become a true contender in the AFC? Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
All right. Buckle up, Broncos country. Phillip Lindsay here, and if you've ever watched me play, which I know a lot of you have, you know I'm all about speed, agility, and getting where I need to go efficiently. And when it comes to your summer vacation, you need the same kind of reliable power. And this is why I'm teaming up with my friends at Hermes Worldwide. Let's be real, getting to and from the airport or your destination could be a total fumble. And although I never fumbled, I don't want to deal with stressful parking, unreliable ride sharing, and nobody needs to deal with that either. So let Hermes Worldwide step into the game for you and score that game-winning touchdown for your travel plans. They offer top-notch transportation services, from sleek airport transfers and comfortable clean vehicles to reliable long-distance travel. They're dependable and also very professional. And they understand that your vacation time is precious to you and your family. So, what I'm trying to tell you is you need to ditch the travel day headaches and make your summer vacation a guaranteed win. Give Hermes Worldwide a call today at 303-577-7600 or visit them online at ridehermes.com/DenverSports.